Ops 29.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Logan once again. I am with Tony.
What's going on, YouTube? Good to see
Yep.
everybody.
Yep. And he will hopefully be here for a longer time than a blind legend.
Yes, I am in it for the long run, so let's do this.
Yep. So today we have Dragon
Oh, actually,
Village.
I do actually have to go. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not. I wouldn't do that to you.
Oh, you got me there. You got me there,
I know.
buddy.
Did you? Do you probably got scared? You're like, God darn
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, we have Dragon Village today. It is
Dragon Village.
real-time strategy. Very, very hard. Even on the easy difficulties. Very complicated.
So what you're trying to say is it's a game that I probably shouldn't play. Oh. Your persuasion on this though.
But it is
uh,
very fun. It has a lot of story, stuff you can unlock. But you do have to be very careful and really analyze your resources and
right.
everything before you proceed.
Okay. I
So
like
I
that.
I have the folder open and the .exe selected,
Dragon Village. Items view list. A long time ago. Grouping expanded. Dragon Village.x9 to 119.
and
And I'll just say, kind of like really quick, just like as a standby or somebody who's hanging out and just helping to react and having some fun with this. I've never played the game before. Logan has, so everything will be new to me. So if there'll be moments where I probably scream and go, "Oh my god!" And then there's going to be moments where I'm like, "This is fantastic." So just throwing that out there.
all right, cool. Yeah. So yeah, lots of files, but it'll be at the top of the folder. So,
Let's do it, man.
oh,
What are
and
we
by
waiting
the way,
for?
do you think my speech rate is good?
Go ahead and do a little speech test there.
Base library.zip 10 to 100. Dragon Village.x9 to
Bring
119.
it down. Bring it down. Bring it down.
Rate 50. Rate
Bring
45.
it to about 45 is good, I think, for sure.
Dragon Village.x9 to 119.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's great.
Loading Rocky's Dragon Village.
Landscape. Rocky's Dragon Village. Main menu. Play the game.
So yeah, this is apparently a UK based game.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep. So immediately we have play game,
Abandon current game and restart from day one.
and I have been test playing this game many, many, many times before actually this recording. So either way,
View the
So you're the
instructions.
expert.
yeah.
Okay, is what you're saying.
I'll probably do that like at the end. I'll probably, like go over
View the instructions.
this at the end,
Listen to some quick verbal
Okay.
instructions.
and then again this at the end.
Toggle speech off or on.
All right,
I'm
let's
not.
get into it.
I'm not sure what that's for. I'm assuming sappy.
Toggle the info screen
Are
back
there
on.
graphics to this game?
I think there are because
Okay,
like,
so I mean that's probably what would expect it. Like maybe a sighted player who plays the game can enable or disable the
yeah,
speech
Yeah.
implement. Yeah.
and then like over here, because like over here,
Toggle the music on or off.
or no, not here, because there's no option section. Like everything's just on one big menu.
Interesting. Okay.
Change the text color currently yellow. Change the background color currently black.
Because like we have all these color options.
Yeah, you know what? There probably are graphics in this game then, animations or graphics. So.
Read the history of
Hallelujah.
Dragon Village. Save your game and exit the program. Read the history of Dragon Village.
And then that will be read to us when we start.
Save play the game. Abandon current game and restart from day one.
So let's start.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
if
let's
you
do it,
wish to
man. What
stop
are
your
we
current
waiting
game,
for?
please type YRN. Okay, you are the leader of a small settlement called Dragon Village. You probably already know about the wolves, the outlaws, the floods, and the dragon. Better get stuck in. Press any key to continue. Press enter on your choice of difficulty level for Dragon Village. Relaxing.
Yeah, so since this is Dragon Village, there's a dragon, obviously.
Yep.
I don't know why the floods are in there. But yeah, the wolves and the
Present. Better. You probably are the leader of a small set. You probably already know about the wolves, the outlaws, the floods.
wolves and the outlaws will be explained as we go along.
Interesting. Relaxing.
So we have relaxing,
Interesting.
interesting,
Challenging.
challenging,
Stressful.
and stressful. Now,
I like how they categorize that. That's nice. That's fun.
yeah, stressful is basically impossible.
Relaxing.
I'm gonna do interesting because
Interesting.
that's like
Interesting. Very interesting choice. All right, let's do
that was
it.
terrible, by the way.
I know it was very awful. I was. All of these choices are challenging. You know, it's making me feel stressful right now. So. This is what you get for pulling me on a YouTube video. So.
True that. But it's
All right.
it's pretty much the only option I feel that you can do that's like balanced.
Fair enough.
Set game difficulty to interesting. Please type YRN. Thank you. Your difficulty level is now set to interesting. Okay, let's go. You are at location D3, the marketplace. It is day 1. Time to instruct your workers.
All
Ooh,
right.
it's a
so-
grid.
Yep.
Is this like RTS? That's interesting. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So we are on a 7x7 grid, and we start on the marketplace. Every single location has a sound.
Okay.
Excuse me. As with pretty much every game, you move around with the arrow keys. There are a lot of commands in this game. So, we at the marketplace. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff to explain here.
Well, why don't we get into it and we'll kind of explain as we go? How about that?
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes that's the better idea. Let's just do it by design.
Okay, I'm going to go to the top left.
C, B, A1, the hills. A1, the hills.
Okay, so yeah, hills.
A1, the hills.
Those will not be useful right now. And there are a couple of tiles of these, so like
B1, the hills. C1, the hills.
so just some winds and some birds.
D1, the road to the north.
We've got the
I
road.
like that. Okay.
And if you press C,
There are currently 0 workers out of a maximum of 5 in the road to the north. Workers can stare with dread at the smoke on the northern horizon in the road to the north.
and if you press A, it'll tell you that.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
So A is like the thing that you can do, and C is the worker capacity.
Okay.
E1, the forest.
And then you got multiple tiles
F1, G1, the forest.
of forest.
G2, the forest. G3, the road to the east.
And over here,
There are currently 0 workers out of a maximum of 10 in the road to the east. Workers can take food to Hungry Village and collect peasants in the road to the east.
you can get more workers.
I'm liking this already. It's giving me a lot of Sound RTS vibes if anybody's played that audio game before. Except this looks like it's, so far, at least on a more grand scale, better quality, so on and so forth.
Yep. So speaking of food, you press F to check that.
You have 100 available food, and you have 100 bags of grain.
And that categorizes everything. So like in this game you can fish, you can get berries, you can get eggs, cheese, bread, all that, and that's all categorized as food. So here I'm gonna put 10 workers.
There are currently
to
0 workers
get
here. The maximum at this there are now 10 workers here.
more villagers. So obviously it's gonna take a couple of days for that to happen. You know, for those workers to go to the village, get the peasants, and then come back.
Interesting. So there's a more, like, the game bases itself on longevity.
On what?
Like so it takes time. So like, it's a time-based game.
Kinda. Yeah.
That's
So,
interesting.
If I press D,
Today is day 1 of your leadership in Dragon Village.
Right.
G4, the woods.
and then here,
Workers can gather nuts and berries in the woods.
so like here, you can get berries. Which
How
is
many
food.
workers total do you start off with?
So V,
You have 90 villagers, and you currently have 10 villagers doing some work.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay, so you can allocate them to different tasks.
yep, and that changes with difficulty.
Right on. Yeah, kind of anybody who's ever played Castaways, they do something like that in this as well.
Ooh, and I will most likely demo Castaways.
It's a great game. I like it.
Yeah, it really is. It's a really good game. But you get very little food from here, sadly. Only like 15 units. I'm just gonna refer to the food as units. Per day. Even if you allocate like 10 workers here, you only get
Right.
like 15. But
Okay.
G5, the woods. G5, the woods.
so you got a couple tiles of that, and then over here,
F5, the river.
you got the river.
I'm guessing workers can fish there.
Workers can go fishing in the river.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, pretty much word for word.
E5, the river. D5, the bridge to the south.
Ah, crap. Hold on.
Phone Dragon Village. Items view list. A long time ago grouping expanded. Dragon Village.x9 of 119.
Oh, it.
Phone link rope Rockies Dragon Ops 20 Ops start Snoot set exit sort lock visibility lock check audio volumes mute test properties for volume slider for mute mix slash controls window pause recording not checked.
Alright, apologies for that.
So,
Task switch Dragon Village. Items view list. Ops. Rockies Dragon Village.
Anyways,
E5, the river. D5, the bridge to the south. Workers can take goods and gold to the king to win his favor in the bridge to the south.
nice.
yes, that would be
Nice.
necessary.
Okay.
Well, it might be necessary. We'll find out.
C5, the river. D5, the river. A5, the
Stay
woods.
tuned to find out.
Exactly.
A4, the woods. A5, the woods.
Oh wait, no, it's a 7x5 grid. Never mind.
A5, the woods. A4, the woods.
Anyways,
B4, the weather station.
okay, so here, this is very, very important. If you press W,
Today's weather forecast is not at all helpful, which will be unpredictable for crops. This forecast is 0% reliable.
you have that. I feel like when you start
Okay.
the, huh?
No, I just said okay.
Oh, I feel like when you start the game, you should at least get a predictable forecast. But, so this,
Workers can forecast the weather for tomorrow in the weather station. There are currently
Okay.
0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 4. There are now 4 workers here.
I'm gonna put some workers there. So, that, basically tells you whether like the whether the weather will be like sunny, rainy, cloudy, or if there will be floods. And that will be very vital because if there are floods, that will mess up your wheat or barley, which I'll get to in a minute. And it will also make your wheat and barley fields flooded, and you can't grow stuff on them until they're dry.
C4, the farmhouse.
Alright. So,
While we're doing this really quick, Logan, I am just grabbing some extra grocery bags from outside the house. So-
alright, cool.
All right.
Okay, so farmhouse. This uses grain, which which is also defined as, or is also categorized as wheat and barley. So they will provide egg and cheese. And I think that's pretty much it for that.
D4, the mill and bakery.
This will transform grain into bread. This is the primary food source I will be using because it takes a small amount of grain and pumps out a lot of bread. So, I'm gonna put 10
There are
over
currently
here.
There are now 10 workers here. E4, the wheat fields.
And then here are the wheat and barley fields I was talking about. So,
Workers can grow some wheat grain in the wheat fields.
wheat grain and barley grain. So, these have these are one of the highest worker capacity jobs? Yeah, jobs that you can allocate. So,
There are currently 0 workers here. There are now 20 workers
put
here.
20 here.
F4, the dike.
Now, I'm actually gonna have to look this up, but it's basically like a flood barrier. And this is, again, useful for the weather forecaster. So,
Workers can guard against floods in the dike.
again, if the weather forecast is a flood, you put 10 workers here. They will protect against floods. So I'm just gonna leave that alone for now.
F3, the barley fields.
I have returned
Epic.
to this world.
Workers can grow some barley grain in the barley fields.
Alright.
Barley fields. Okay. So what are we doing, Logie Bear? What do we got?
are on the third coordinate, I guess.
Okay.
But anyways,
E3, the village store.
alright.
Okay. All right.
So, the store. So, obviously we can...
Workers can keep down the rats and maybe sell a few things in the village store.
So, there are rats.
Keep down the rats, because rats are obnoxious. Okay.
Yeah, they are. And if you leave them unchecked, they will go through your food and grain supplies like nobody's business.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah,
Savages.
There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 workers here.
so putting some here.
D3, the marketplace.
And now, when I get a certain quest, I'm gonna take those workers out, but you'll find out later. And the marketplace is just a higher place of selling stuff. Now,
C3, the building plot.
the building plot will be used later.
D3, the blacksmith.
The blacksmith. Okay, so here, the blacksmith.
Workers can forge some metalware goods for the market in the blacksmith.
So, metalware goods. If you press G,
You have 0 gold coins and you have 0 goods to sell.
so metalware goods are, again, just categorized as goods. So, this is just a place primarily used for making goods that you can sell for gold.
D2, the watchtower.
Stay awake.
We do not need that right now. It's kind of like it's basically a weather forecast for enemies. But again, we don't need that right now.
C2, the village cottages.
Here,
Workers can make some baskets and perhaps a baby or 2 in the village cottages.
another goods place, and we can get more villagers. So, I'm gonna put
Nice.
There
some
are currently
workers
0
here.
workers. There are now 10 workers here. D2, the Green Dragon Tavern. Workers can take it easy for a bit in the Green Dragon Tavern.
And here, we can unlock new things. So,
There are currently 0 workers. There are now 6 workers here.
I'm gonna put some workers here.
E2, the church.
And the church is actually really cool. So,
Workers can pray to the gods for salvation in the church.
you can actually get stuff if you put workers here and they pray.
There are currently 0 work. There are now 10 workers here. F2, the guardhouse.
On your toes.
And here is where you can. Oh, sorry, what?
I laughed.
Oh yeah, because some of this game is actually self-voiced.
I like it.
You have 90 villagers, and you currently have 80 villagers doing some work.
Oh, I actually have 10 left.
Workers can guard against attack from outlaws and wolves in the guardhouse.
So yeah, again, we don't have trouble from those yet. So
G2, the forest. G3, the road to the east. There are currently 10 workers here. There are still 10 workers here. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 0 workers here. There are still 0 workers here. E3, the village store. D3, the east. There are currently 10. There are still D3, the marketplace.
good. That's
C3, the building plot. C4, the farmhouse.
So here's my question, Logan, is how do you check the status of workers' progress in those areas?
What do you mean progress?
Like, okay. So you send workers to go get food. How do you check how much food they've gotten?
Oh, okay. So like,
Progress. How do you, excuse me, like, I guess, like, is there like a system or like
E3,
something
the
that you
marketplace.
can...
E3, the village store. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 0
Yeah.
workers here. There are now
Let me
10
show
workers
you.
here.
if you press E
Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type Y or N.
and then Y,
Okay, events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was sunshine, which was good for crops. Workers grew 48 bags of grain in the wheat fields. Workers grew 22 bags of grain in the barley fields.
oh crap! I forgot where I. Whoops.
Workers used 48 bags of grain and made 129 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery.
Oh wait, no, I did good. I did good.
Villages weaved 5 new basketware goods. A couple of villagers took some time off work to make a baby. As a complete coincidence, one young villager came of age today. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 5 gold for just 2 goods at the village store. 20 food is taken east towards Hungry Village by 10 of your most trusted workers. Prayers were listened to by the gods, but the gods were a little busy today. Some villagers drank far too much beer and spent far too much time looking for a missing cheese. Rats helped themselves to 2 grain. Rats helped themselves to 4 food. Villagers ate up 95 food this day. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster for crops. This forecast is 90% reliable. Villagers feel safe from outlaws. Villagers feel safe from wolves. You have 91 villagers. You currently have 90 villagers doing some work. You have 120 bags of grain. You have 110 available food. You have 5 gold coins. You have 3 goods to sell. Rumors suggest there are around 0 outlaws in the hills. Rumors suggest there are thought to be 0 wolves in the forest. Return to Dragon Village and start your new day. It is day 2. Time to instruct your workers. You are at location F3, the barley fields. Today's weather forecast is floods.
So
Wow.
that's your status.
And it's cool. The music changes too.
Yep.
I like this game so far.
Good. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
So
G3, the road to the east.
immediately we have floods.
F3, the barley fields. There are currently 10 workers here. There are now 0 workers here. F2, the guardhouse. F4, the dike. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 workers here. F2, the guardhouse. F3, the barley fields. There are now 1 workers here.
Let's. Well, actually, yeah, I think that's all we have to do.
Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type Y or N. Okay, special event.
Ah, yes, and we have our first special event.
A friendly man with a white cloak and a pointy hat shows up in
ding,
the tavern.
ding, ding. What do we got?
He claims to see the future. You must be an oracle, said Brian. You can call me Al, said the oracle, predicting the future. You will find me in the woods, he said, with equal foresight. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon.
Okay,
Events residue. You must be a friendly man with a white cloak and a pointy hat shows up in the tavern. He claims to see the future.
so
Return to today's weather was floods, which was a possible disaster for crops. Workers grew 33 bags of grain in the wheat fields. Workers grew 1 bag of grain. Despite dike workers' best efforts, floods broke through the dike and ruined today's crop of 33 bags of wheat and 1 bag of barley.
yeah, and that can happen.
Right. Now I can imagine.
Even with 10 workers for some reason.
Oh,
So-
man.
Anyways,
Workers used 50 villages leave 3 noob. A couple of villagers, as a complete visiting travelers paid a prayer seemed to be answered when 12 baskets were found suspiciously at the Green Dragon Tavern.
and we have our first prayer answer.
Oh, cool.
An oracle moves into the woods. Who knows what that means for the future? Rats helped themselves to 1 grain. Rats helped themselves to 5 food. Villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which will be bad for crops. This forecast is...
Yeah, and that doesn't really matter now because...
It is day 3. Time to instruct... F2, the guardhouse. F3, the flooded fields. Workers can watch the floods recede in the flooded fields. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 5. How many workers do you want to watch the floods recede? There are...
Yeah.
Wow.
So, now, the thing is that he doesn't really see the future, he basically sets it. Because if you go over to
E,
A5,
C5, B5, A5, the Oracle's house. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 10. How many workers do you want to visit the Oracle and ask to see the future? There are now 10 workers here.
because if you don't talk to him, the future doesn't change.
Right.
B5, the river. There are currently 0 workers here. There are now 10 workers here.
And since the fields are flooded, let's
A4,
just
the woods.
put
There are
these
currently 0 workers.
guys.
Sorry, there are only 2 workers available. There are still 0 workers here. There are now 2 workers here. A, B, there are currently 10. There are now 0. A, there are currently 2. There are now A, B. There are now 2 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end today? Please type YRN. Okay, special event. Late in the evening, a herald arrives from the king. Standing in the marketplace, he proclaims his message. It is the king's wish to have a country residence. This village has been chosen as a quiet and peaceful place. On the king's order, you must select a building plot and keep the peace. Nobody seems inclined to mention rumors of outlaws or wolves. Be sure, added the herald, to use large stone blocks and oak beams. You assume the king has not heard about the dragon. His message delivered, Gerald the herald departs. You wonder if it is possible to change the name of the village.
Gerald the Herald.
Press any key to continue.
Harold the Herald.
Events this day in Dragon Village. A herald rocks up in the marketplace and seems to think this is a holiday camp fit for a king.
Yup, pretty much.
Return to Dragon Village and start your new day. A herald dropped the day's weather was drought, which was bad for crops. Workers used 50 bags of grain and made 157 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery. Workers caught 3 fish on the river. Workers gathered 13 nuts and berries in the woods.
So yeah, like, very little.
Villagers leave 5 new. A
Right.
couple of villagers as a visiting traveler prayers were listened. Some villager prayers were listened to by the gods, but the gods were a little busy today. Some villagers drank far too much. The Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for catching fish.
So like there, he's setting the future.
Store workers prevented rats from eating any grain. Rats helped themselves to 6 food. Villagers ate up 107 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster for crops. This forecast is 90% reliable.
Ugh.
It is day 4. Time A5. The Oracle A4. The wood. There are currently 10 workers. There are now 0. A, B. There are currently 2. There are now C, D, E, F, G, G4. The wood. F4. The dike. There are currently 10. There are now 10 workers here.
Oh, whoops, I forgot to deallocate those. Oh well.
G4. The wood. There are currently 0 workers. Sorry, there are only 3 workers. There are now 3 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event.
Ah, good.
Tony the Stone Carver rocks up at the Green Dragon Tavern. He claims to know where large building stone can be found in the hills. He has tools to cut large blocks of stone. He would like to join the village community. Just what is needed to build a house fit for a king. Not the sort of offer to refuse. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was some clouds, which was okay for crops.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, okay, there you go. That's some good news.
Yeah, and if you'll notice, the weather forecast was wrong.
Return to today's weather was some clouds, which was okay for crops. Workers used 19 bags of grain and made 54 loaves of bread in the mill. Workers caught 30 fish on the river. Workers gathered 4 nuts and berries in the woods.
And the number of fish is larger.
Villages leave 3 new. A couple of villagers took as a complete visiting travelers. 10 of your workforce return with 6 grateful peasants from Hungry Village.
We got more workers.
Prayers were listened to by the gods. Tony the stonemason joins the village. Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for finding things in the woods. Rats helped themselves to 5 food. Villagers ate up 116 food this day. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain, which will be dodgy for crops. This forecast is 90% reliable. Villagers feel safe from outlaw. Villagers feel safe from wolves. It is day 5. Time to instruct your workers. You are at location G5 F5, the river. There are currently 10 workers. There are not G4. There are currently 3 workers here. The maximum is there are F. There are currently 10. There are not G3. There are currently 0. There are now F3, the barley fields. There are currently 0. There are still 0 workers here. There are currently 0. There are now 20 workers here. E3, the E4, the wheat fields. D4, the mill and bakery. C4, the farmhouse. C5, the river. C3, the building plot. B3, the blacksmith. B2, the watchtower. B1, the A1, A2, the hill quarry. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 10. How many workers do you want to hew out some large stones? There are now 10 workers here. A3, the road. A4, the woods. B4, the weather station. There are currently 4. There are C4, the farm. D4, the mill and bakery. E4, the wheat field. F4, the dike. G4, the woods. F. There are currently 0. There are F3, the barley fields. E3, the village store. D3, the mark. C3, the building. D3, the D2, the watch. C2, the village. D2, the Green Dragon Tavern. There are currently 6. There are E2, the church. F2, the guardhouse. G2, the forest. You have 101 villagers, and you currently have 100 villagers doing some work. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event. Farmer Giles had far too much cider on such a hot day, and here he was, back at the tavern for some more. He claimed he fell asleep in the woods. And when he awoke, he saw little green gems. Was he really too dozy to pick them up? Or is this just the cider talking? Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was drought, which was bad for crops.
Yep. So now you will unlock finding gems in the woods.
Workers
I
used 11
like
bags of-
it.
Workers used 11 bags of villagers leave 3 new basketware goods. A couple of villagers took some time off work to make a baby. As a complete coincidence, one young villager came of age today. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 4 gold for just 2 goods at the village store. 20 food is taken. Each prayer seemed to be answered when 6 gold was found on the gravestone.
Oh, looting graves now, are we?
Wow, talk about a lack of morale with your villagers. What's going on?
Farmer Giles falls asleep in the woods. Now everybody is nuts about picking nuts.
Ah, wonderful. I'm loving the dad jokes.
Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for growing barley. Workers at the quarry carved out 5 large blocks of stone.
Ah, goody.
Rats helped themselves to 4 food. Villagers ate up 123 food this day. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds, which will be okay for crops. This forecast is 90%. Villagers feel safe from out. Villagers feel safe from wolves. It is day.
Now, since we're starting to carve out stone, if you press S,
You have 5 stone blocks and 0 oak wood beams.
that will give you the status for that.
F2 the guard. G2 G F3 the barley field. There are currently 20. There are still 20 workers here.
20 there. Good, we're
Are
good.
you sure you wish to end today? Please type YRN. Okay, special event.
Ah. Here we go.
Your good village folk look close
Alright,
to
let's see
panic.
what happens, huh?
Fortunately, Brian the Wise has some good advice. Lookouts to the watchtower. Guards to the guardhouse. Send for help from Greedy City. Hunt them down in the hills. As village leader, what action will you take? Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragonville. Event press at hunt them. Send for guard. Look, fortunately, Brian, your good village are alarmed to hear reports of a large gang of outlaws arriving in the hills. Your good village folk look close to panic.
Okay, so outlaws are annoying.
First little intervention.
Huh?
You said our first little intervention here.
Yeah, they're annoying little bastards. But all they do is sneak into your village and steal gold, goods, and food.
Return that we are alarmed to hear reports of a gang of outlaws arriving in the hills. Today's weather was some clouds, which was okay for crops. Workers grew 70 bags of grain in the barley fields.
Oh, would you look at that?
Wow, what a good day.
Yeah.
Workers used 55 bags of grain and made 173 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery. Villages leave 4 new basketware goods. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 5 gold for just 2 goods at the village store.
Yeah, so like right now my villagers are basically surviving off of bread.
Prayer seemed to be answered when 7 gold was found at the market. Some villagers drank far too much beer and
Well, yeah, of course it's found.
Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for cheesemakers. Workers at the quarry carved out 5 large blocks of stone.
Good, keep that up.
Store workers prevented rats from eating any grain. Rats, villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain, which will be dodgy. Lookouts have no idea if villagers feel safe from wolves.
Okay,
It is day 7. E3 D C B3 the blacksmith. B4 B2 the watchtower.
Stay.
now.
A. Wait.
There are only 2 workers available. There are still C2 the village cottages, 10 workers.
Oh, I should have mentioned this earlier. If you press tab, that will cycle between the buildings that have assigned workers.
D2 the Green Dragon Tavern, 6 workers. E2 the church, 10 workers. There are currently 10 workers here. There are now 8 workers here. DC B2 the watchtower. There are now 4 workers here.
Wake.
There we go.
You have 119 available food, and you have 15 bags of grain. You have 38 gold coins, and you have 24 goods to sell. Today is day 7 of your leadership in Dragon Village.
Oh, by the way, if you press Z,
ZZZ is the sleepy key.
Okay.
You really did not have to push that again. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was rain, which was dodgy for crops. Workers grew 36 bags of grain and workers used 51 bags of grain and made 137 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery. Outlaws broke through the village defenses and stole 10 food, 16 goods and 8 gold.
so yeah, like that.
Villages weave 4 new
Yikes.
basketware goods.
Yeah.
Some villagers took time off work to make 2 new babies. As a complete coincidence, 2 youths can now be visiting travelers paid a handsome 5 gold for just 2 goods at the village store. Prayer seemed to be answered when a small green gem is found on a gravestone.
Ooh, nice.
Some villagers drank far too much cider. Sometimes taking it easy can get difficult. Oracle Al tells you many things, but none of them useful.
Ah, yes, and sometimes that'll happen.
Workers at the quarry carved out 6 large blocks of stone. Rats helped themselves to 5 food. Villagers ate up 114 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine, which will be good for crops. This forecast is 90% reliable.
Yeah, here we go.
Lookouts are
Like
sure there will be no outlaw
sunshine.
attack tomorrow. It is day 8, A2, the hill quarry. You have 16 stone blocks and there are now 6 workers. B2 the watchtower. C2 the village. D2 the green. E2 the church. F2 E2. There are currently 8 work. There are now 10 workers here. You have 104 villagers, and you currently have 104 villagers doing some work. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event.
Oh, great.
You are shocked to learn that a large pack of wolves has arrived in the forest. Your good village folk look close to panic. Fortunately, Brian the Wise has some more good advice. Lookouts to the watchtower. Guards to the guardhouse. Send for help from the king. Hunt them down in the forest. As village leader, what action will you take? Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. You are shocked to learn that a wolf pack has arrived in the forest. Today's weather was sunshine, which was good for crop. Workers grew 40 bags of workers used 40 bags of villages leave 5 new baskets. A couple of villagers took as a complete visiting travelers paid a hand 10 of your workforce return with 7 grateful peasants from Hungry Village.
Ah, yes, good.
Prayer seemed to be answered when a small
Nice.
green gem is found in the marketplace.
Ooh, another one? Thank you.
Some villagers drank far too much beer and spent far too much time looking for a missing cheese. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for baking bread.
Awesome. Ooh, you're gonna like this.
Workers at the quarry carved out 2 large blocks of stone. Rats helped themselves to 5 food. Villagers ate up 107. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which will be bad for crops. This forecast is 90% reliable.
Ooh, that's not good though.
Lookouts are sure there will be no outlaw. Lookouts are almost certain 8 wolves will attack tomorrow.
That's also not good.
You have 112 villagers. You have 0 bags of grain. You have 125 available food. You have 39 gold coins. You have 13 goods to sell. You have 112 villagers. It is day not. E2 the church. F2 the guardhouse. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum.
Okay.
There are now
people here.
F3 the bar. E3 the village. E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 0 work. Sorry, there are only 5 workers. There are now 5 workers here.
Put some here.
E3 D3 the marketplace. C3 the building plot. B3 B2 the watchtower. B1 A1 A2 the hill quarry. You have 18 stone. There are now 2 work. B C D D3 the market. E3 the village. E4 the wheat fields. There are now 7 workers here. You have 112 villagers, and you currently have 110 villagers doing some work. There are currently 7 workers. There are now 9 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, events this day.
What?
Return to the day's weather was drought, which was bad for crops. Workers grew 4 bags of grain. Workers grew 12 bags of grain.
Alright, now listen to this.
Workers used 16 bags of grain and made 86 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery.
Just from that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Guards fought off 9 wolves and 2 wolves were killed in the attack.
So yeah, I'm mainly gonna remain on the defensive here.
Villages weaved 3 new basketware goods. A couple of villagers took some. As a visiting travelers paid a handsome 4 gold. Prayer seemed to be answered when a small red ruby is found in the marketplace.
Yes, keep it up.
Some villagers drank far too much beer and spent far too much time looking for a missing cheese. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for finding things in the woods. Workers at the quarry carved out 1 large block of stone. Rats helped themselves to 4 food. Villagers ate up 120. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine, which will be good for crop. Lookouts are sure there will be no. You have 130. You currently have 100. It is day 10. Top D4 E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 9 workers. There are still not F3 the bar F E4. There are now 10 G3 the G2 the forest F2 the guard. There are currently 13. There are now G4 the woods G5. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. You have 113 villagers, and you currently have 110 villagers doing some work. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event. Lori was drinking cider with Rosie. In the middle of the night, Rosie awoke half the village. She claimed there were rubies in the river. But rubies asleep, said Lori. Rubies, little red rubies, said Rosie. Was she dreaming, or are there really riches in the river? Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was sunshine, which was good for crops.
Alright, finally. Okay, so that's an event from the tavern. Finally got another event from the tavern.
Workers grew 16 bags of grain in the wheat fields. Workers grew 48 bags of grain. Workers used 52 bags of. Workers gathered 20 nuts and berries in the woods. What luck as villagers leave the woods. One of them spots a small green gem. Villagers weaved 5 new basketware goods.
Yeah.
Visiting travel prayer seemed to Rosie has a dream. Rosie has a dream about rubies, but now everybody wants to go fishing. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for hunting wolves.
Epic.
Workers at the quarry carved out 1 large block of stone. Store workers prevented rats from eating any grain. Rats helped themselves to 5 food. Villagers ate up 130 food this day. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster for crops. This forecast is 90% reliable.
Not epic?
Lookouts are almost certain 20 outlaws. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf attack.
Not epic.
You have 113 villagers. You currently have 110 villagers. You have 113 villagers. It is day F G5. So there are currently 10 workers. There are now 0 workers here. F5 F4 the dike. E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 10. There are now F4. There are now 10 workers here.
I have to say I am thoroughly enjoying watching this gameplay.
A5 the
Like
Oracle
a game,
10 workers.
a game like this has just so many attributes of, you know, a lot of the fun games that we've come to play lately in you know, maybe the last 10 years or so. So it's really cool to see it advance a little bit, just with strategy, because this is very much a strategy based game.
Yeah, we definitely need more games that make your brain work.
Yeah. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to Logan. Come on, give him a subscribe. Let's have some fun. Like the video, share it with your friends.
Yeah, definitely share it. Definitely share it. Give your feedback.
There are now 0
How
workers
many
here.
subscribers are you at right now?
I think like 30, 40 something.
Come on, help this dude get to 50. Let's break a milestone.
Alright.
B, C, D3, the market, D2, the E2, the church, E3, the village, F3, the F2, the guard. There are currently 0. There are now 23 workers here. E2, the church.
Ooh. Some more key commands. If you press R.
Status report this day in Dragon Village. You have 113 villagers. Return to Dragon Village and continue your day. You currently have 113
Nice.
villagers doing some work. You have 12. You have 1. You have. Rumor suggest return to Dragon Village this day.
And if you press O.
The story so far in Dragon Village. You are the leader of a small settlement called Dragon Village. Return. Was she dreaming, or are there really rich rubies? But rubies asleep. She claimed there were in the middle of the night. Roast cheap, but ruby was she returned to Dragon Village and continue your day. It is day 11. F2 the guardhouse. 23 workers.
Toes.
F3 the barley fields. There are currently 20. There are F4 the dike. There are still E4, the wheat fields. D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 10. There are C4, the farmhouse. C3, the building plot. E1, F1, the forest.
Ah, yes, and the forest and the
E1,
hills
E1, the road
now
to the
have
north.
new sounds.
C1, the hills. E1, there are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 0 workers available.
Ooh.
E2, the church. F2, the guardhouse. E3, the village store. 10 workers. F3, the barley fields. 20 work. D4, the weather station. D4, the mill and bakery. 10 F4, the dike. 10 workers.
What can...
You have 143 of A2, the hill quarry. 2 workers. You have 20 stone blocks. There are
Ooh, I
currently
can
there
take
are now
those
0
out.
workers
I
here.
don't need those.
D2, the watchtower. 4 workers. C2, the village cottages. 10 workers. D2, the green rat. E2, the church. F2, the church. There are currently 10 workers here. The max. There are now D2, the green. F1, the forest. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event.
Aha!
A young witch called Wanda turns up in the Green Dragon Tavern. She announces that she will move into a quiet corner of the woods if nobody minds. Nobody seems inclined to argue. She has a few jobs for some trustworthy folks. Well, not jobs exactly, more like quests. Did she say some trustworthy folks or some trusting folks? A crow is seen by the farmhouse and the cheese goes missing. What can all this mean? Press any key that events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was drought, which was bad for crops.
Oh, it was wrong! Again!
Whoa, shnikes.
Workers grew 10 bags of grain and the barley. Workers used 22 bags of grain and made 62 loaves. Outlaws broke through the village defenses and stole 13 food, 17 goods and 22 gold.
What? But there were 20... Ugh.
Armed villagers pursued wolves into the forest and 5 wolves were killed in the attack.
Okay, that's better.
Unfortunately, 1 villager went missing in the forest, presumed eaten.
That's not.
Villages weaved 5 new basketware goods.
That sucks.
Some villagers took time off work to make 2 new babies. As a complete coincidence, 2 youths can now be counted amongst your workforce. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 2 gold for just 1 goods at the village store. Prayers were listened to by the gods, but the gods were a little busy today. A witch moves into the woods, a crow spies up the farmhouse and the cheese goes missing. Rats help themselves to 3 food villagers. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain, which will lookouts are sure there will be no wolf to this day 12.
Alright, so now, finally...
G1, the forest. There are currently 9 work. There are now G2, the forest. G2, F2. There are currently. There are now E2, the church. There are now 10 workers. E4. There are now 0 workers here. F5, the F5, the river. F4, the dike. There are now E4, the wheat fields. G4, the woods. G5, the witch's hut.
Over here...
Workers can visit the witch and ask for a quest in the witch's hut. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 10. How many workers do you want to visit the witch and ask for a quest? There are now 10 workers here. E2, the watchtower. C2, the village cottages. 10 work. E2, the Green Dragon Tavern. 10 work. E2, the church. 10 work. D2, the Green Dragon Tavern. D3, the marketplace. Today's weather forecast is rain, which will E3, the village store. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 20. There are still G4, the woods.
We can start getting quests,
F4, the dike.
That's cool.
which will be very useful.
E4, the wheat fields. D4, the mill and bakery. You have 114 villagers, and you currently have 88 villagers. E4. There are currently 0. There are now 20 workers here.
Ooh, put those there.
E5, the river. D5, D4, the C4, the farmhouse. D4, the weather. D3, the blacksmith. C3, the building plot. D3, the marketplace. E3, the village store. F3, the barley fields. G3, the road. G2, the F2, the guard. E2, the church. D2, the green grass. C2, the village. D2, the watchtower. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event.
Ooh, I'm sure you can get... I'm sure you can guess
Late in
what
the
this
evening, another herald
is.
arrives from the king.
Ooh.
Standing in the marketplace, he proclaims his message. The king wishes the people of Dragon Village to undertake a couple of missions. Firstly, drive the outlaws from the hills and restore the peace. Secondly, drive the wolves from the forest and restore the peace. Thirdly, get started on the house for the king. And fourthly, do something about those rumors of a dragon. You decide not to mention the smoke on the northern horizon. His message delivered, herald the herald departs. You wonder if it is possible to relocate the village somewhere nice.
Wait, what happened to Gerald?
Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. A herald rocks up in the marketplace and gives you a 4-part mission. Today's weather was rain, which was dodgy for crops. Workers grew 36 bags of grain and the workers grew 24 bags of workers used 50 bags of villages weaved 3 new basketware goods. A couple of as a complete visiting travelers take prayer seemed to be answered when 7 gold was found outside the Green Dragon Tavern. Some villagers drank far too much beer and spent far too much. Some villagers fetched water and chopped wood for Wanda.
Alright.
Store workers prevented rats from eating any grain. Rats helped themselves to 4 food. Villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster for crops. This forecast is 90%. Lookouts are almost certain. Lookouts are almost certain. 11 outlaws will attack tomorrow. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf. You have 115 villagers. You currently have 108 villagers doing some work. You have 10 bags of grain. You have 90 available food. It is day 3.
Ooh, I'm running low on food.
B3, the blacksmith. D4, the weather. C4, the farmhouse. D4, the mill and bakery. E4, the wheat fields. E3, the village. E2, D2, the green. C2, the village cottages.
You know,
There are currently 10 workers here. There are now D, E, F2, the F4, the dike. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 20. There are now 5 workers here. F2, the guardhouse.
On your toes.
There are currently 0 workers. There are now F3, the barley fields. There are currently 5 workers. There are now 7 workers here. You have 115 villagers, and you currently have 110 villagers doing. F2, the guardhouse. F3, there are currently 7 workers. There are now 12 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event.
Here we go.
Fiona the Forester turns up at the Green Dragon Tavern. She claims to know where large oak trees can be found in the forest. She has tools to cut large beams of oak. She would like to join the village community. Just what is needed to build a house fit for a king. Not the sort of offer to refuse. Press any key to continue. Special event.
Ah, our first quest.
Some villagers work on jobs for the witch. Wanda brings out some tea and biscuits. Sorry, there is no cheese with the biscuits, says Wanda. My goat Heather ran off when scared by the wolves, explained Wanda. Somebody kind could go look for my goat. You have a new quest. Find Heather the goat for Wanda the witch. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was floods, which was a possible disaster for crops. Workers grew 24 bags of grain in the wheat. Workers grew 21 bags of floods were held by the Titan workers who saved today's crop of 24 bags of wheat and 21 bags of
Yeah,
barley.
here we go.
Hey, beautiful.
Workers used 48 bags of grain and made one. Guards fought off 10 outlaws, but no outlaws were killed in the attack. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 2 gold for prayer seemed to be answered when 20 cheeses were found at the village store.
Nice.
Oh. Okay.
Fiona the Forester joins the village. Perhaps the king might get his country house after all. Somebody needs to find Heather the goat for Wanda the witch. Store workers prevented rats from eating any grain. Rats helped themselves to 6 food. Villagers ate up 133. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds, which will be okay for crop. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf attack tomorrow.
Alright. Now,
It is day
if you don't want to, well, actually,
F2 the guardhouse. There are currently 50. There are now G2, G3 the road to the east. F3 the barley. F4 the dike.
if you don't want to know how to do these quests, well, I mean, this is a playthrough, but
Yeah.
still, I'll be completing each quest as they come up. So,
G4.
And we'll have a
G3,
link
the
to
road
the
east.
game in the description as well, so that you can look for the game, play it at your own pace, and from there, I'm sure there'll be some helpful tips and tricks on how to actually play the game as well. So
yeah.
there
But
you go.
to get the goat,
There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 10. There are now 10 workers here. F3 the barley fields. There are currently 12 workers here. The maximum at this
Workers
location is
there.
12. Sorry, there are only 18 workers. There are currently 12 workers. There are still 12 workers. There are currently 12. There are now 10 workers. F2 the guardhouse. G2 the oak forest. There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 8 workers. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 8 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end today? Please type wire end. Okay, special
oh,
event.
another quest already?
Some villagers work on jobs for Wanda looks rather. You know that nasty bout of madness, said Wanda.
Ooh,
It's so not cool. It does my head in thinking about it. If I had some special mushrooms, I could do something about it. Somebody kind could go look for some of those mushrooms for me. You have a new quest. Find some special mushrooms for Wanda the witch. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was some clouds, which was okay for crops. Workers grew 28 bags of grain. Workers grew 15 bags of grain in the barley. Workers used 50 bags of grain and made visiting travelers paid a handsome 4 gold for just 2 goods at the village. 20 food is taken east towards Hungry Village by 10 of your most trusted workers. Prayer seemed to be answered when a small red ruby is found in the marketplace.
yeah, more of
Nice.
those, more of those.
Some villagers drank far too much cider. Sometimes taking it easy can get difficult. Somebody needs to find some special mushrooms for Wanda the witch. Workers in the oak forest cut lumber and made 4 beams of oak wood. Rats helped themselves to 6 food. Villagers ate up 130. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster for crops. This forecast is 90% reliable.
Again?
Lookouts are sure there will be no. Lookouts are sure there will be no. You have 160. You currently have 160.
At least there's no attacks.
You have 0 bags of. You have 135 of. It is day.
But I believe that is all the tavern has to offer.
Okay.
F2 the guard. E2 D2 the green dragon. There are currently 10 work. There are now 0 workers here.
If not,
D4 E4 the wheat fields. F4 the dike. F5 the river. F. There are currently 10 workers here. The
We
maximum
shall
of this
deal with
location is
that
10. There are
when
now
it
10 workers
comes.
here. F3 the barley fields. There are currently 10 workers here. There are still 10 workers here. E3 the E2 the D2 the green grass. C2 the build. There are currently 0. There are now 0 workers here. C3 the building plot. C4 D F4 the G4 the woods. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. G3 the road. There are currently. Sorry, there are only 0 workers of it. F3 the barley fields. F2 D2 the church. D2 the green grass. East. There are currently 10 work. There are G3 the road to the east. G3 the road to the east.
okay, but now to get the goat, you put these
There are
workers
currently
here.
0 work. There are now 5 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end today? Please type wire end. Okay,
Yeah,
special
you're
event.
dead.
Villagers are pleased to find many rats have died. But excitement turns to horror as a plague of fleas emerge. This is not going to end well, says Ryan. Press any key to continue. Special event.
Oh boy.
Some village shirkers on the east road proved useful today. Heather the goat has been found. Which Wanda was a happy witch this day? Come to the farmhouse, Heather. Make some friends and make some cheese, said Wanda. Magically, from this day, the cheese production at the farmhouse seems to double. You have completed this quest. Press any key to special event.
Nicely done.
Villagers gathering nuts and berries also found some special mushrooms for Wanda. Which Wanda was a happy witch this day? Now to make some special mushroom soup for everyone to enjoy, said Wanda. Magically, from this day, a little madness seemed perfectly normal in the village. You have completed this quest. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. The plague released 4 tortured souls today and a few workers went off sick, so check all your buildings. What madness. 3 villagers threw themselves into the dike today and a few workers stopped work, so check all your buildings.
Wait, what?
The return to Dragon to the today's weather was floods, which was a possible disaster for crops. Somebody who should have been working found the missing goat.
Huh?
Some villagers collecting nuts and berries also found some special mushrooms for Wanda.
Strange.
Workers grew
Oh, there
28
you
bags
go.
of grain in the... Some workers group. Despite dike workers' best efforts, floods broke through the dike and ruined today's crop of 28 bags of wheat and 14 bags of barley.
Crap.
Workers used 0 bags of grain and made 0 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery. Workers gathered 11 nuts and berries in the woods. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 2 gold for just 1. 4 villagers fare eastwards
You're
into the
gonna
distance.
want to up those workers in those fields, man, for food shortages.
Prayers were listened to by some villagers fetched water and workers in the oak forest rats helped themselves. The villagers ate up one. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster.
Yeah.
Lookouts forecast there will be no outlaw. Lookouts forecast
And
there will
there's
be no wolf attack.
floods.
You have 109 village. Lookouts forecast there will be no wolf attack. It is day 60. G4 the woods. G5 G4 the dike. There are currently 9 work.
Crap, this isn't good. Okay, so this is where the tab key comes in handy.
There are now G4 the woods. 8 workers. There are currently 8. There are G5 the witch's hut. 9. There are currently not there. E2 the watchtower. 3. There are currently E2 the church. 4 work. There are currently 4 workers. There are now G2 the oak forest. 7 work. There are currently E3 the village store. 9 work. There are currently 9. There are G3 the road to the east. 4 workers. There are B4 the weather station. 3 workers. There are D4 the mill and bakery. 9 workers. There are F4 the dike. 10 workers. Today is day 16 of your leader. You have 10 available food and you have 0 bags of grain. G5 the witch's hut. G4 the woods. There are currently 0 work. There are F5. There are currently there are now 10 work. F4 the flooded fields. D4 the mill and bakery. There are currently 10. There are now 0 workers here. C4 the farmhouse. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 10. How many workers do you want to tend to the farm animals? There are still 0 workers here.
This is not good.
C3 the building plot. D3 the marketplace. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 workers. D2 the Green Dragon Tavern. C2 the village cottages. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. B2 the watchtower.
Stay away.
Okay, I'm gonna lose a lot of villagers.
You have 10
Oh,
available food
boy.
and you have 0 bags of grain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, events this day in Dragon. Today's weather was floods, which was a possible. Floods were held by the dike and workers caught 14 fish on the workers gathered 13 nuts. Villages leave 3 new bags. A couple of villagers took as a complete coincidence when young village passing travelers paid for. Sellers at the market grew up. Store workers go back to rat. Prayers were listened to by some villagers drank many. Workers in the oak forest cut lumber. Rats helped them. Villagers ate up 36 food. Your peasants are revolting. 78 villagers went without food. 24 villagers left the village in search of food. So check
Yep.
all your buildings. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds, which lookouts guess 22 outlaws will attack. Lookouts reckon there will be no wolf attack tomorrow. You have 86 villagers. You currently have 78 villagers doing some work. You have 0 bags of grain. You have 0 available food. It is day 7. C2 the village cottages. 8 workers. There are currently 8 workers. There E2 the church. 8. There are currently G2. There are currently 8 workers. There are D3 the marketplace. 8 workers. You have 20 stone blocks and 11 oak wood beams. There are currently 8 workers here. The maximum Z1. There are E3 the village. There are A4 the woods. 6. There are currently 6 workers here. There are B4 the weather station. 2 workers. There are currently 2 or 0. There are F4 the dike. 8 workers. There are G4 the woods. 10. There are currently 10 workers here. The maximum. There are B5 the river. 2 workers. There are currently G5 the witch's hut. 8 workers. There B2 the watchtower. 2 workers. There are C2 the village cottages. 10 workers. C3 the building plot. C4 the farmhouse. D4 the wheat. There are currently 0. D4 the mill and bakery. You have 86 villagers and you currently have 68 villagers doing some work. E4 there are currently 0. There are only 18 workers. There are currently 0 work. There are now 10 work. D there are currently 0 work. There are now 8 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay. Today's weather forecast is some clouds, which will be okay for crops. This forecast is 50% reliable. There are currently 8 work. There are now 6 workers here. E4. There are currently 10 workers here. There are now 12 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end? Some villagers work on job for Wanda looks rather distracted. You know that nasty plague, said Wanda. It's so not cool, so unrelaxed. If I had some special herbs, I could do something about it. Somebody kind could go look for some of them. You have a new quest. Find some special herbs for Wanda the witch. Press any key to continue events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was rain, which workers grew 18 bags of workers used 18 bags of grain and made 54 low. Outlaws broke through the village defenses and stole 28 food, 0 goods and 28 gold.
Damn it.
Villagers leave 4 new bags. Some villagers took time off work to make 2 new as a complete coincidence. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 2 gold for just 1 goods at the 10 of your workforce return with 7 grateful. Prayers seem to be answered when 19 Jesus. Somebody needs to find some special herb. Workers in the oak forest cut rats help themselves. Villagers ate up 44 food. Your peasants are revolting. 70 villagers. 25 villagers. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain, which will be dodgy. Lookouts estimate 4 outlaws will attack tomorrow. Lookouts forecast there will be no wolf attack tomorrow. You have 70 villagers.
Yikes.
It is day D4 the mill and bakery.
I was hoping to do this.
There are currently 5 workers here. E4 the wheat. There are currently 11 workers here. The maximum at this location is there are only 14 There are currently 11 workers. There are now 4 G5 the witch's hut. There are currently 9 B2 the watchtower. 3
A
workers.
straight
Hey,
forward playthrough, but I guess not. I mean, unless I can somehow salvage this.
E4 the wheat. F5 G5 the witch's hut. There are currently 9 workers. There are B2 the watchtower. 3 workers. There are C2 there are currently E2 the church. There are now 10 G2 the oak. There are currently 9. There are E3 the village store. 9 work. There are now 10 workers here. You have 20 stone blocks and 7. You have 20 stone blocks and 17 oak. B4 the weather station. 3 work. There are D4 the mill and bakery. 5 workers. E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 14 work. There are D4 the mill and E4. There are there are only 17 work. F G2 the oak forest. G1 G2. There are currently 10 workers. There are now 5 workers here. F3 the barley fields. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum there are E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 14. There are now 20 D4. There are currently 5 workers. Sorry, there are only 7 workers. There are currently 5 workers here. There are now 7 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Today's weather was floods, which was a possible disaster for crops.
Nope.
You are dismayed that you returned to Dragonville to this day. Today is day 19. You have 56
Nope. Nope.
List item. Ops 20 controls window. Pause recording checkbox not checked.
Alright, I'll be right back.
What's up, man? You okay?
Yeah.
Not checked.
Alright. Okay, so this isn't exactly where I left off. However,
Transparency,
window.
right?
Rocky's
Come
Dragon
on.
yep. I have...
You have 25 stone blocks and 21 oak wood beams. D3 the market. D2 the C2 E2 the E3 the village store. D3 the marketplace. C3 the building plot.
over here.
20 wood and 20 stone are delivered and work can start. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 10. How many workers do you want to build a country residence for the king? There are now 10 workers here.
And when you complete it,
E3 the village store. 10 workers.
you'll find out.
F3 the barley fields. There are currently 15 workers here. The maximum at this location is 20. Sorry, there are only 16 workers. There are currently 50. There are now 16 workers here. You have 235 available food, and you have 11 bags of grain. D4 the weather station. 4 work. D4 the mill and bakery. 10 workers.
Not
D4 the
doing
wheat
too
fields,
bad
20
on
workers.
food there, hey?
Yeah, much better.
There are currently 20 work. There are still 20 workers here. F3 F2
You just
the
wait.
there are
Everybody's
currently
gonna
20 workers.
pig
There are
out
now
for
0 workers here.
Thanksgiving, and the food's gonna go down.
E2 the church. There are currently 10 work. There are D2. There are currently 10 workers. There are C. There are currently Z. There are D2 the watchtower. There are currently 4. There are D3 the blacksmith. There are currently Z. There are D4 the weather. There are currently 4. There C4 the farm. D4 the mill and bakery. E4 the wheat. F4 the dike. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Workers grew 44 bags of grain.
Okay, what the heck is up with this tavern?
Workers grew 28. Workers used 55. Outlaws broke through the village. Villages leave 5 new visiting travelers paid a handsome.
Stupid.
Prayers seemed to be answered when 10 metalware. Some villagers drank far too much cider. Prayers seemed to be answered when 10 metalware goods were found at the village store. Some villagers drank far too much cider. Builders have now completed 20% of the king's new residence.
Yep.
Rats helped themselves to 1 grain. Rats helped themselves to 7 food. Villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine, which will be good for crops.
Logan,
Lookouts are
I'm gonna return right back to the video. I just have to go alert my fiance of something really quick.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right,
Be right
cool.
back.
Tomorrow lookouts are almost certain 7 outlaws will attack. Tomorrow's lookouts are sure there will be no wolf. You have 114. You currently have 104 villagers doing some work. It is day 4. G2, the oak 4, G, F2, the guardhouse. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Workers grew 40 bags of workers grew 38. Workers used 48 bags. Guards fought off 7 outlaw villages. Leave 4 noobs. Some villagers took time off work to make 2 new as a complete. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 5 gold for prayer seemed to be answered when a small green gem is found. Some villagers drank far too much. Builders have now completed 40% of the king's new residence.
Nice.
Rats helped themselves to 1 grain. Rats helped them. Villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible. Lookouts are sure there will be no out. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf. You have 116. You currently have 114 villagers doing. You have 56 bags. You have 291 available food. You have 116 villagers. Lookouts are sure you have 56 bags of grain. You have 291 available food. You have 10 gold coin. You have 32 goods to sell. You have 2 gems. You have 1 rubies. You have 5 stone blocks. You have 1 oak wood beams. Rumors suggest there are around 45. Rumors suggest there are thought to be 50 wolves in the forest. Rumors suggest there are around 45 outlaws in the hills. Return to Dragon Village and start your new day. It is day 15. Time F3 F2. The guard. There are currently 10 workers. There are now There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. You have 116 villagers. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event.
Dead.
Filled by excitement turns to as a pressed events this day in Dragon Village. The Blade released 4 tortured souls today and the are dismayed to what madness. The are dismayed to hear another 11 outlaws have arrived in the hills. The what madness. 3 villagers threw themselves into the dike today and a few workers stopped work. So check all your buildings. Today's weather was floods, which was a possible disaster for workers grew 25. Worker floods were held by the dike and workers used 45 bags of grain and made 128.
Nice.
Villagers leave 2 new baskets. A couple of villagers took as a visiting trap. Prayer seemed to be some villagers' prayer seemed to be answered when 16 bags of wheat were found on the edge of the fields.
Okay.
Some villagers drank far too much beer and spent far too much time looking for a missing cheese.
Okay, what the heck?
Builders have now completed 60% of the king's new residence. Rats helped themselves to 2 grain. Rats helped themselves to 11 food. Villagers ate up 108 food this day. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds, which will be okay for crops. Lookouts forecast there will be no outlaw. Lookouts forecast there will be no wolf. You have 110 villagers. You currently have 103 villagers. It is day. D2 the watchtower. 3 where there are C2 there are currently 9. D2 the green. There are currently 9. E2 the church. There are currently there are C3 the there are currently 9 work. There are E3 the village. There are currently there F3 the barley fields. There are currently D4 the weather station. There are D4 the mill and bakery. 9 work. There are C4 the wheat fields. 19 there are there are only 19. F4 the dike. 9 workers. There are currently there D2 the watchtower. 4 work. There are currently 4. There are C2 the village. D2 the green dragon. E2 the church. 10 C3 the building plot. E3 the village store. 10 F3 the barley fields. 15 work. There are currently 15 work. There are D4 the weather. D4 the mill and bakery. E4 the wheat fields. 19 there are now 20 workers here. You have 110 villagers and you currently have 102 villagers doing some work. G5 the woods.
The witch still isn't here.
EDCPA5 there are currently 0 workers. There are now 8 workers here. C3 C2 the village cottages. There are currently 10. There are still 10 work. D2 the Green Dragon Tavern.
Why is it? You know, I haven't mentioned this yet, but why is there a dog in the cottages.
There are currently 10 work. There are still 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, let's continue. Today's weather forecast is some clouds. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type workers crew 42 back. Today's weather was some cloud. Workers crew 21. Workers used 40 back. Villages leave 5 new back. Visiting. Prayers were lit. Some villagers drank farts. Prayers were listened to by the gods, but the gods were. Some oracle owl tells you many things, but none of them useful. Builders have now completed 76%. Rats helped themselves to 2 grain. Rats helped them. Villagers 8 of 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods. With lookouts are sure there will. Lookouts are sure there will be. You have 110. You currently have 100. You have 93 back. You have 291 of. It is D, C, 4, B, 4, B, 5, A, 5. The orc. There are currently 8 workers. There are C, E, F, G, 5, G, 4, the woods, F, 4, the dike. There are currently, sorry, there are only 8 workers. There are currently 0. There are still 0 work, F, 3, the barley fields. There are currently 15 workers here. The maximum 1. There are now F4. There are currently 0 work 2. There are now 10 workers here. Are you workers crew 33 bags of grain?
Okay, what?
Today's weather was floods, which workers floods were held by the workers used 50 back. Villages leave 3 new. Visiting travelers paid a handsome for. Prayer seemed to be answered when a small green gem is found outside the green rat. Some villagers drank far too much. Builders have now completed 90. Rats helped themselves. Builders have now completed 92% of. Rats helped themselves to 2 grain. Rats helped themselves to 8 food. Villagers 8 of 108 foods. Is tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine, which will lookouts are almost certain. 16 outlaws. Lookouts are almost certain. 8 wolves will attack. You have 110 villagers.
Ooh, our first double attack. Okay.
You currently have 110 villagers. You have 93 bags of grain. You have 340 available food. It is day. There are currently 10 workers here. The max. There are now Z, D, for D2. The green dragon tab. There are currently 10. There are now 7 workers here. C2, the village cottages. There are currently 10 workers here. There are now 7 workers here. B2, the watchtower. B3, the black A3, the road to the west. BC3, there are currently 10 workers here. The maximum. There are now 6 workers. D, E, F, G3, the G3, the G, F2, the there are currently 0 workers here. There are now 20 workers here. There are there are only 20 workers of. There are still 20 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event. Today your builders completed the king's country residence. A fine house fit for a king. You are justly proud of your achievement. The king sends some household staff, some gold, some food, and his warmest greetings. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. You are dismayed to hear another 11 wolves have arrived in the forest. Today's weather was sunshine, with workers grew 32 back, workers grew 31 back, workers used 47 back, guards fought off 15 outlaws, but no outlaws were killed in the attack. Guards fought off 8 wolves and 1 wolf was killed in the attack. Villages leave 4 new basketware goods. Some villagers took time off work to make 2 new babies. As a complete coincidence, 2 youths can now be counted amongst your workforce. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 4 gold for just 2 goods at the village. Prayer seemed to be answered when a wolf was killed by a traveler who asked to stay in the village.
Alright, cool.
Some villagers drank far too much cider. Builders have now completed 100% of the king's new residence. Village folks stare at the king's lovely new house. 6 of the king's servants join your village workforce, bringing 150 gold and 150 food.
Yep, so we get that.
Rats help themselves to 2 grain. Rats villagers ate up 137 food this day. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine, which will be good for crops. Lookouts are almost certain. 18 outlaw. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf attack. You have 119 villagers. You currently have 104 villagers doing some work. You have 107 bags of grain. You have 480 available food. It is day. There are currently 20 workers. There are now E2, the church. D2, the green dragon tap. There are currently 7 workers. There are now 10 workers here. You do not have a quest. C1 to the witch. C2, the village cottages. There are currently 7 workers here. The maximum is there are now 10 workers here.
So weird.
B2, the watchtower.
Stay. A.
There are currently 4 workers. There are still 4 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type Y, return to Dragon Village and start your new day.
Why haven't I found her yet?
Today's weather was rain, which was dodgy for crop. Workers grew 30 bags of. Workers grew 19 bags. Workers used 40 bags of. Guards fought off 18 outlaws and 1 outlaw was killed in the attack. Villages leave 3 new basketware. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 4 gold. Prayer seemed to be answered when 19 cheeses were found near the farmhouse. Some villagers drank far too much cider. Some rats helped themselves to 2 grain. Rats helped themselves. Villagers ate up 130. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which will lookouts are sure there will be no wolf. You have 119. You currently have 115. You have 114 back. You have 475. You have 181 gold coin. You have 39 goods to sell. You have 3 gems. It is day 20. C2 to the D2 the church.
And yes, gold will be useful at some point.
F2 the guard house.
Right.
There are currently 20. There are E2 the church.
I
There are
figured
currently 10.
if there's going to be a drought, it would make sense to put some of those workers on the river, right? To get fish.
Ooh, true.
D2 the green
I
dragon.
mean,
There are
think about
currently
that,
10 workers
because
here.
fish is
There are
still
now 10 workers
considered
here.
food.
C2 the village
Fish are
cottages.
friends, not food.
There are currently 10 work. There are still C5. There are currently 0. There are now 10 C4 the farmhouse. D4 the village.
Did you ever watch Finding Nemo? You saw that movie, right?
Workers. There are now 10 workers here.
Yeah.
E3 the
Yeah,
village store.
fish are
D3 the
friends, not
marketplace.
food.
C3 the king's country residence. There are currently 0 workers.
Ah,
There are
yes,
still
and
0
we
workers.
have this now.
BC3 the king's country residence. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 6. How many workers do you want to do a few chores for the king? There are now 6 workers here.
And, if you press H and K...
It is hard to put a figure on how much of the gods' respect you have earned, but Brian says it is around 189. Everyone else reckons you have earned the attention of the gods. It is hard to put a figure on how much of the king's favor you have gained, but Brian says it is around 100. Everyone else reckons the king has compliments for you.
You get
Well,
those.
that's good news.
B3 the blacksmith.
Compliment me, Sir King, compliment me.
That was perfect.
Yes.
There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. You have 119 villagers, and you currently have 106 villagers doing some work. B2 the white, C2 the village, E2 the green dragon, E2 the church, F2 the guardhouse, F4 the dike, E4 the wheat fields. F. There are currently 0 work. There are currently 10 work. There are still 10. There are now 10 workers. D4. The mill and bakery. There are currently 9. There are C4. The farm. D. There are now 10. C4. There are currently 0 work. There are now 10 work. D4. The weather station. There are currently 4. There are still. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Workers grew 6 bags of.
Okay, is there something wrong with this game?
Today's weather was drought. Which workers grew 5 bags. Workers used 55 animals at the farm, made 10 bags of grain, and provided 22 eggs and 16 cheeses at the farmhouse. Workers caught 28 fish on the river. Workers at the smithy forged 11 new metalware goods. Villages weaved 5 new basketware goods. A couple of villagers took some time. As a complete coincidence, one young village visiting travelers paid a handsome 4 gold for prayer seemed to be answered when an outlaw repented his wicked ways and became a loyal village worker.
Oh yay, we finally got that one.
Some villagers drank far too much cider. Sometimes taking it easy can get difficult. Workers tended the garden and sampled some cakes for quality control for the king. The king is sincerely grateful. Rats helped themselves to 1 grain. Rats helped villagers ate up 104. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster for crops. This forecast is 90% reliable. Lookouts are almost certain. 16 outlaws. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf. You have 121. You currently have 107. You have 59 back. You have 554 of it. You have 185 gold coins. You have 53 goods to sell. It is B1 the hills. C1 the hit. C2 the village. D2 the green draft. There are currently 10 workers. There are now 0 workers
Okay,
here.
let's try...
E2 the F2 F3 the bar F2 the guard top. There are currently there are only 14 F3 E3 the village store. E4 the wheat fields. E5 F5 the F4 the dike. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 10 work. There are now 0 workers here. There are currently 0. There are E3 the marketplace. F3 there are currently 13. There are now 0 F2 the G2 the oak forest. F there are currently 0 workers. Sorry, there are only 17 work. F3 the F there are currently 0 workers. There are now 17 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event.
Aha!
Excitement flows through the whole village. A merchant arrives with a boatload of goods from Greedy City. Village folks stream to the river, then slowly trickle back. Salvation has arrived.
Did that
but
say
seemingly at a price.
Greedy City?
Yes.
Press any key
That
to continue.
amuses me.
Events this day in Dragon Village. A river merchant arrives from Greedy City. Today's weather was floods, which was a possible disaster for crops. Workers grew 16 bags of grain in the wheat. Floods were held by the dike and workers have saved it. Workers used 55 bags of grain and made animals at the farm made 10 bags of grain. Workers caught 10 fish on the river. Guards fought off 15 outlaws and 2 outlaws were killed in the attack. Workers at the smithy forged 9 new metalware goods. Villages weaved 5 new basketware goods. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 4 gold for just 2 goods at the village store. Prayer seemed to be answered when an outlaw repented his wicked ways and became a loyal village worker. Workers did some laundry and checked the brandy was up to scratch for the king. The king is sincerely grateful. Store workers prevented rats from eating any grain. Rats helped themselves to 15 food. Villagers ate up 134 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which will be bad for crops. Lookouts are sure there will be no outlaw attack. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf attack. You have 122. You currently have 121. You have 10 bags of grain. You have 616 available food. You have 189 gold coins. You have 65 goods to sell. You have 3 gems. You have 1 rubies. You have 5 stone blocks. You have 1 oak wood beams. Rumors suggest there are around 53 outlaw. Rumors suggest there are thought to be 59 wolf. It is day 20 E2 F2 the guard. There are currently 17. There are now E2 the church. There are currently 10. There are D. There are currently 0 workers. There are still 0. There are now 10. C2 the village D. There are currently 10. There are C. There are currently 10 workers here. The max there are B2 the watchtower. There are currently 4 work. There are B3 the black. There are currently 10 workers. There are C. There are currently 6 workers here. There are D. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 10. There are E3. There are currently 10. There are F. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this sorry, there are only 9 workers. G3 the road to the east. G4 the wood. F4 the dike. There are currently 10 workers here. There are E4. There are currently 10 workers here. The maximum at this location is there are now D4 the mill. There are currently 10 workers. There are C4. There are currently 10. There are B4 the weather state. B5 the river merchant.
Now, this
Merchandise for sale. Return to Dragon Village and continue your day. 10 long swords for more effective outlaw hunts 50 gold. 10 short bows for more deadly wolf hunts 50 gold.
is where you can spend your gold.
4 long bows for watchtower defenders 40 gold. 20 long staves for guardhouse defenders 40 gold. Drought resistant wheat 30 gold. Total weather resistant wheat 60 gold. Quick growing barley seed 60 gold. Loom for the cottage workers 30 gold. 2 double beds for the cottage workers 30 gold. New forge for the blacksmith 40 gold. 10 premium farm chickens 30 gold. New millstone 40 gold. 10 rat traps 20 gold. 10 prayer books 40 gold. 10 superior fishing rods 30 gold. 10 attractive new market stalls 40 gold. 20 wooden oak beams 60 gold. 20 stone blocks 60 gold.
Holy
20 bags of grain
crap.
10 gold. 20 bags of grain 10 gold. 20 cheeses 10 gold. 2 orphan babies 1 green gem. 1 wolf poison 1 red ruby. 1 book of advanced village management 2 green gems. 1 book of dragon lore 2 red rubies. Partial cure for the plague 2 green gems. Partial cure for bouts of madness 2 red rubies. Staff of calming 10 green gems. Ring of charm 10 red rubies. Return to Dragon Village and continue your day.
So yeah, lots of good stuff. Lots and lots and lots of good stuff.
10 long swords for more effective outlaw. 10 4 long bows. 20 long staves for guardhouse defenders 40 gold.
Alright, firstly, I will be getting this.
You hand over 40 gold for 20 hefty long staves. Drought resistant wheat. Total weather is quick growing barley seeds. Loom for the cottage workers. 2 double beds. New forge for the black. 10 premium farm chicken. New millstone 40 gold. 10 rat traps 20 gold.
This.
You hand over 20 gold for 10 wicked looking rat traps. 10 prayer books 40. 10 superior fishing rods for 10 attractive new market stalls 40 gold. You hand over 40 gold for 10 attractive market stalls. 20 wooden oak beams 60 gold. To this date, you have 89 gold.
Okay, I have 89 gold.
Merchandise for 10 short bows from 4 long, 20 long, drought resistant, total weather resistant wheat 60 gold. Quick growing barley seed 6, loom for the cottage workers 30 gold. Two double beds for the cottage workers 30 gold. Loom for the cottage workers 30 gold. 2 new forge for the blacksmith 40 gold. 10 premium farm chickens 30 gold. 2 double beds for 10 new millstone 40. 10 rat traps 10 prayer books 40 gold. 10 superior fishing rods 30 gold. 10 attractive market stalls 40 gold already purchased. 10 superior fishing rods 30 gold. 10 prayer books 40 gold. 10 rat traps 20 gold already. New millstone 40 gold. 10 premium farm chickens 30 gold. New forge for the blacksmith 40 gold. 2 double beds for the cottage workers. Bloom for the cottage worker. Quick growing barley seeds 60 gold. Total quick growing barley seeds. Bloom for the cottage workers 30 gold. Quick growing barley seeds 60 gold. Total weather resistant wheat 60 gold.
And this.
You hand over 60 gold for a supply of total weather resistant wheat seeds. The estate.
Ooh, nice. We need this. We must need.
We must need wheat.
B4, B3, C3, B3, the marketplace, E3, the village, F3, the barley field, G3, the row F. There are currently 0 workers here. There are still F, E4, the wheat field. There are currently 20. There are still 20.
Good, everyone's in wheat.
Today's weather forecast is drought.
But since I've weather resistant, that won't matter.
C5, the river, 10 workers. You have 122 villagers, and you currently have 103 villagers. E5, the river, F5, the river, B2, the watchtower, 4 workers, C2, the village cottages, 10, E2, the Green Dragon Tavern, 9 workers, E2, the church, 10 workers, E3, the blacksmith, 10 workers, C3, the king's country residence, D3, the marketplace. There are currently 0 workers here. There are now E3, the village store. There are currently 10. There are now 0 workers here. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 0. There are still 0. There are there are only 19 workers. G3, the road to the east. F3, there are currently 0. There are now 15 workers here. F4, the dike. E4, the wheat fields. There are C4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 10. There are still 10 workers here. C4, the farmhouse. You have 29 gold. E4, the weather station. Are you sure you wish to end today? Please type YRN. Please press YRN for yes or no. Okay, let's You have 122 villagers, and you currently have 118 villagers doing some work. Are you sure you wish to end today? Please type YRN.
Okay, what the...
Return that you bought 20 hefty looking lawn staves for 50 gold. You bought 10 rat traps for the village store for 20 gold. You bought 10 attractive market stalls for 4. You bought total weather resistant. Today's weather was sunshine, which workers used improved seeds to grow 40 bags of grain in the wheat fields.
Ooh.
Workers grew 30 bags of grain in the barley fields. Workers used 48 bags of grain and made 144 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery. Workers caught 18 fish on the river. Workers at the smithy forged 9 new metalware goods. Villages weaved 3 new basketware goods.
Alright, now check this out.
Drawn to the market, travelers paid 20 gold for 18 goods at the marketplace. Prayer seemed to be answered when a small green gem was found on the gravestone.
Reputation.
Yep.
Some villagers drank far too much beer and spent far too much time looking for a missing cheese. Workers swept the floors and sampled some cakes for quality control. For the king is sincerely grateful. Rats helped themselves to 2 grain. The new rat traps killed several fat rodents. Rats helped themselves to 44 food.
Whoa.
The new rat traps killed many rats before they had their fill. Villagers ate up 140 food this day. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which will be bad for crops. This forecast is 90%. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf this day. D3, the black, D2, C2, the village, D2, the Green Dragon Tavern. There are currently 9. There are now 10 workers here.
Miss Wanda.
Are you sure you wish to end today? Workers used improved seeds to today's weather was today's weather was drought, which was bad for crops. Workers grew 7 bags of grain and workers used improved seeds to grow 44 bags of grain in the wheat fields. Workers used 45 bags of grain and made 128. Workers caught 6 fish on the river. What luck! While fishing, one lucky villager spots a small red ruby on the riverbed. Workers at the smithy forged 12 new metalware goods. Villages weaved 3 new basketware goods. A couple of villagers took some time off work to make a baby. As a complete coincidence, one young villager came of age today. Drawn to the market, travelers paid 20 gold for 11 goods at the marketplace. Prayer seemed to be answered when 23 cheeses were found near the farmhouse. Some villagers drank far too much cider. Sometimes taking it easy can get difficult. Workers tended the garden and tested the wine and cheese were okay for the king. The king is sincerely grateful. Rats helped themselves to 2 grain. The new rat traps killed several fat rodents. Rats helped themselves to 50 food. The new rat traps killed many rats before they had their fill. Villagers ate up 142 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster for crops. Lookouts are almost certain. 13 outlaws. Lookouts are sure there will be no to this day. E2, the church. E3, the village store. E4, the wheat fields. E5, the river merchant. You have 69. F5, the river, 10 workers. There are currently 10. There are now G4, F4. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum is low. There are now 10. G5, the woods.
Do I need to...
There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 4 workers. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 4 workers here.
Do I need to do something to...
F4, the dike. F3, the barley fields. You have 559 available food, and you have 34 bags of grain. There are currently 15 workers here. There are now G5, G4, the woods. There are currently 4 workers here. The maximum at this location is 10. There are now 10 workers here. F4, F3, F2, the guardhouse.
On your toes.
There are currently 0. There are E5, the brick, D4, the mill and bakery. D3, the marketplace. E3, the village. F3, there are currently 0. There are E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 20 work. There are now E5, the river merchant. D5, the brick, C, A5, the oracle. There are currently 0 workers. There are B, C, D, F, G5, the woods. There are currently 10 workers here. There are G4, the woods. There are currently 10. There are still F4, the dike. There are currently 10. There are F3, the barley fields. G3, the road to the east. G2, the oak forest. F2, the guardhouse. F, there are currently 0 workers here. There are now 15 workers here. You have 123 villagers, and you currently have 119 villagers doing some work.
Okay.
The first time I heard that dude talk, I thought he said onion toes. I literally thought he said that. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Lol.
Oh, that's funny.
Are you sure you wish to end today? Please type YRN. Okay.
There she is. Okay, I think you have to go in the woods to find her.
A young witch called Wanda turns up in the Green Dragon Tavern. She announces that she will move into a quiet corner of the woods if nobody minds. Nobody seems inclined to argue. She has a few jobs for some trustworthy folks. Well, not jobs exactly, more like quests. Did she say some trustworthy folks or some trusting folks? A crow is seen by the farmhouse and the cheese goes missing. What can all this mean? Present events this day, despite dike workers' best efforts, floods broke through the dike and ruined today's crop of 0 bags of wheat and 0 bags of barley.
Oh no, my non-existent... crops.
Workers used 34 bags of workers gathered 10 nuts and berries in the woods. Guards fought off 13 outlaws and 2 outlaws were killed in the attack.
Alright, now check this out.
All right.
One dead outlaw had most of his head missing.
Oh.
Workers at the smithy forged 10 new metalware goods. Villages weaved 3 new basketware goods. Gone to the market. Travelers paid 18 gold for 11 goods at the marketplace. Prayer seemed to be answered when 16 bags of wheat were found in the marketplace. A witch moves into the woods. A crow spies up the farmhouse and the cheese goes missing.
Okay, so yeah, I actually did not know that. I guess you have to, do at least one thing in the woods to get her to, show up in the tavern.
Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for hunting wolves. Workers washed dishes and tested the wine and cheese were okay for the king. The king is sincerely grateful. Rats helped themselves to 1 grain. The new rat traps killed rats helped themselves to 36. The new rat villagers ate up 142. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf at this day. F2 the E2 the church. D2 the creek. There are currently 10 work. There are now 0 workers
Okay, I
here.
can take you guys out now.
C2 the E4 F4 the dike. There are currently 10. There are G5. There are now 10 workers
You
here.
go in there. Let's start getting some quests.
B2 the watchtower. 4 C2 the village cottages. 10 worker. E2 the church. 10 work. E3 the village. F3 the flooded fields. F4 the dike. E4 the flooded field. E4 the mill and bakery. You have 87 gold coins and you have 65 goods to sell.
Good.
C4 the farmhouse. You have 123 villagers and you currently have 109 villagers doing some CE3 the village F3. There are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Some villagers work on jobs for the witch. Wanda looks rather distracted bringing out some tea and biscuits and cheese. You know that nasty plague, said Wanda. It's so not cool, so unrelaxed. If I had some special herbs, I could do something about it. Somebody kind could go look for some of those herbs for me. You have a new quest. Find some special herbs for Wanda the witch. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. You are dismayed to hear another 12 outlaws have arrived in the hills. The plague released 4 tortured. What madness. 3 villagers through today's weather with some clouds, which was workers used 15 workers gathered 9 nuts and berries. Workers at the smithy forged 11 new villages weaved 5 a couple of villagers as a drawn to the market. Travelers paid 18 gold. Visiting travelers paid. A prayer seemed to be answered when 18 bags of Oracle Owl tells you many things, but none of them useful. Somebody needs to find some workers wash dishes and test. The king is sincerely great. Store workers prevented rats from eating any grain. Rats helped themselves to 8 food. The new rat traps killed villagers ate up 135. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine, which will be good for crops. Lookouts forecast there will be no wolf attack to this day. F G3 the road to the east. G4 there are currently 8 workers here. The maximum is there are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Workers gathering food in the woods also found some special herbs for Wanda. Which Wanda was a happy witch this day. Now to make some special tea for everyone to enjoy, said magically from this day village folk seem a lot more relaxed about the plague. You have completed this quest. Press any key to special event. Some villagers work on jobs for the witch. Wanda looks rather hopeful bringing out some tea and biscuits. I have a special little job for you kind people. If someone was to recover my magic ring, she said that would be simply enchanting. You have a new quest. Find the magic ring for Wanda the witch. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was sunshine. Some villagers collecting nuts and berries also found some special herbs for Wanda. Workers used 18 bags of grain and made 51 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery. Workers gathered 10 nuts and berries in the wood. Workers at the smithy forged 10 new metalware goods. Villages weaved 2 new basketware goods. A couple of villagers took some time off work to make a baby. As a complete coincidence, one young villager drawn to the market. Travelers paid 18 gold for 10 goods. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 2 gold for prayer seemed to be answered when a small red ruby is found in the marketplace. Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for finding things in the woods. Somebody needs to find the magic ring for Wanda the witch. Workers tended the garden and sampled some cakes for quality control for the king is sincerely grateful. Rats helped themselves to 7 food. The new rat traps. Villagers ate up 116 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which will be bad for crops. Lookouts forecast there will be no outlaw. Lookouts estimate 23 wolves will attack tomorrow.
Whoa!
You have 118 villagers.
Wow.
You currently have 107 villagers doing some work. It is day 20. G4 the woods. A5 the oracle's house.
Okay,
9 workers.
now.
G5 the witch's hut. 9 B2 the watchtower. 3 work. There are C2 the village. There are currently 9 workers. There E2 the church. 9 there are currently 9 workers. F2 the guardhouse. There are currently 14 workers here. The maximum at this location. There are now 20 workers here. B3 the blacksmith. There are currently not there. C3 the kid. There are currently 5 workers. 01. There are C3 the marketplace. There are currently C3 the village store. 9 workers. There are there are only 9 workers available. E4 the wheat fields. FG4 GG5 G5. There are currently 9 workers here. The maximum at this location is 10. There are now 7 workers here. B2 the watchtower. 4 C2 the village cottages. 10 E2 the church. 10 workers. F2 the guardhouse. B3 the blacksmith. 10 workers. There are currently there are C3 the king's country residence. 63 the marketplace. 9 there are currently there E3 the village store. 9 work. There are currently 9. There are now A4 the woods. 10 workers. B4 the weather station. 3 work. D4 the mill and bakery. 9 workers. There are currently not. G4 the woods. 10 workers. There are currently 10. There are now 0 workers here. There are currently 0. There are now A5 the oracle's house. 9 workers. There are now 10. A4 the woods. B4 the weather station. There are currently 3 work. There are now 4 workers. C D4 D3 the marketplace. D4 the mill. There are now CC B5 B5 the river. A5 the oracles. There are currently 10 workers here. The maximum at this location. There are now 6 workers here. BC5 the D5 the Brit. C5 the
We're
river.
gonna get the ring.
D5 the Brit. There are currently 0 workers. Sorry, there are only 6 workers of it. D4 the mill and bakery. E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 0 work. There are F3 the barley field. There are currently 0 workers. You have 118 villagers and you currently have 112 villagers doing some work. E3 D C3 the king. D3 the blacksmith. There are currently 10 work. There are now 0 work. C5 the river. D5 the bridge to the south. There are currently 10 gold and 10 goods are collected and 10 workers are ready to set off. Today's weather forecast is drought, which will be bad for D4 the mill. E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 6 workers of G4 the woods. 5 workers. A5, the Oracle's house, 6 work. D5, the bridge to the south, 10. G5, the witch's hut, 7 workers. B2, the watchtower, 4. C2, the village cottages, 10 workers. E2, the church, 10 workers. F2, the guardhouse, 20. C3, the king's country residence, 6 workers. D3, the marketplace, 10 workers. E3, the village store, 10 workers. A4, the woods, 5 workers. A3, the rope. B3, the C3, the D3, the market. E3, the village store. There are currently 10. There are now 0 workers. D4, the mill and bakery. D4, the wheat fields. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 16 workers here. Are you sure you wish some villagers work on jobs for the witch? Wanda looks rather distracted, bringing out some tea and biscuits and cheese. You know that nasty bout of madness, says Wanda. It's so not cool, it does my head in thinking about it. If I had some special mushrooms, I could do something about it. Somebody kind could go look for some of those mushrooms for me. You have a new quest. Find some special mushrooms for Wanda the Witch. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was drought, which was bad for crops. Workers used improved seeds to grow 28 bags of grain in the wheat fields. Workers used 28 bags of grain and made 88. Workers gathered 10 nuts and berries, and what luck as villagers leave the woods. One of them spots a small green gem.
Yep.
Guards fought off 23 wolves and 3 wolves were killed in the attack.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
One dead wolf had a big dent in its head. Villagers weaved 4 new basketware goods. Some villagers took time off work to make 2 new babies. As a complete coincidence, 2 youths can now be counted amongst your workforce. Drawn to the market, travelers paid 20 gold for 17 goods at the marketplace. 10 gold and 10 goods are taken south towards Monarch City by 10 of your most trusted workers. Prayer seemed to be answered when a small green gem is found in the marketplace. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for hunting wolves. Somebody needs to find some special mushrooms for Wanda the Witch. Workers swept the floors and checked the brandy was up to scratch for the king. The rats helped themselves to 28 food. The new rat traps killed many villagers, ate up 138 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster for crops. Lookouts are sure there will be no lookouts are almost certain. 16 wolves will you have 120 villagers. You currently have 118 villagers. It is day 25, the river, F5, the G5, the witch's hut. G4, G3, G2, F2, the guardhouse. There are currently 20 workers. There are F, G4, the woods. There are currently 5 workers. There are G5, the witch. There are currently 7 workers. There are now 10 F5, the river. Today's weather forecast is floods with F4, G4, the woods. F4, there are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 4 workers. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 0 workers here. There are E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 60. There are F4, there are now 10 workers here.
Oh boy.
F2, the guardhouse. E2, the church. There are currently 0 work. There are C2, there are currently 10 work. There are still 10 workers here.
Ah, yes.
C3, the king's country. There are currently 6 workers. There are now 1 workers here. C5, the river.
Sorry, King.
D5, the bridge to the south. There are currently 0 workers here. The max. There are now 5 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event. Some time wasters on the bridge proved useful today. Wanda's gold ring has been found. Which Wanda was a happy witch this day? I was lost without my ring, said Wanda. Magically from this day, your luck is not always so random. You have completed this quest. Press any key to continue. Special event.
Nice.
Villagers gathering nuts and berries also found some special mushrooms for Wanda. Which Wanda was a happy witch this day? Now to make some special mushroom soup for everyone to enjoy, said Wanda. Magically from this day, a little madness seemed perfectly normal in the village. You have completed this quest. Press any key to continue. Special event. Some villagers work on jobs for the witch. Wanda looks rather hopeful, bringing out some tea and biscuits. I have a special little job for you kind people. If someone was to recover my enchanted staff, she says, that would be simply magic. You have a new quest. Find an enchanted staff for Wanda the Witch. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. You are dismayed to hear another 12 wolves have arrived in the forest.
Now you'll notice she says if you could find my magic ring, that would be simply enchanting, but if you could find my enchanted staff, that would be simply magic.
Oh, little wordplay here.
Yep.
Return to Dragon. You are dismayed. Today's weather was floods, which was a possible disaster. Somebody with more time than sense found Wanda's gold ring on the bridge. Some villagers collecting nuts and berries also found some special mushrooms for Wanda. Workers used improved seeds to grow 16 bags of. Despite dike workers' best efforts, floods broke through the dike and ruined today's crop of 16 bags of wheat and 0 bags of barley. Workers used 0 bags of grain and workers gathered 5 nuts and berries. Guards fought off 15 wolves and 1 dead wolf had a big dent in its head.
Good.
Villagers weaved 5 new basketware. A couple of villagers took some time as a complete drawn to the market. Travelers paid 20 gold. 5 villagers stand around staring south into the distance. Prayer seemed to be answered when 19 eggs were found near the farmhouse. Oracle Al tells you many things, but none of them useful. Somebody needs to find an enchanted staff for Wanda. The workers tended the garden and checked the brandy was up. The king since rats helped themselves to 18 food. The new rat traps. Villagers ate up 120. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds. Which lookouts are sure there will be no. Lookouts are sure there will be no. You have 120. You currently have 110 villagers. It is day 20. G5, the witch's hut, 10 worker. B2, the watchtower, 4 workers.
I wake.
C2, the village cottages, 10. E2, the church, 10 work. F2, the guardhouse. C3, the king's country residence, 1 worker. There are currently 1 workers here. The max. There are now 6 workers. D3, the marketplace, 10 worker. A4, the woods, 5 workers.
Alright.
There are currently 5. There are now 0 work. D4, the weather station, 4 worker. D4, the mill and bakery, 10 worker. F4, the dike, 10 workers. There are A5, the oracle's house. There are currently 6. There D5, the bridge to the south, 5. There G5, the witch's hut, 10 workers. B5, A5, the oracle's house. A4, the woods.
Oh, also, the merchant will sometimes disappear and move locations on the river.
B4, the weather station.
That makes sense.
C4, the farmhouse. D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 10. There are now E4, the flooded fields. F4, the dike. G4, the woods. G5, the witch. F5, the river. E5, the river. C5, the river. B5, the river. You have 165 available food, and you have 0 bags of grain.
Ooh.
There are currently 0. There are now A4, the wood. There are now 10 workers here. You have 121 villagers, and you currently have 109 villagers doing some work. B1, C2, the village. D2, the Green Dragon Tavern.
And to get this
There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event. Customers at the tavern got lucky today. Wanda's enchanted staff has been found. Which Wanda was a happy witch this day? I was lost without my staff, said Wanda. Magically from this day, bad events are not such bad events. You have completed this quest. Press any key to continue. Special event. Some villagers work on jobs for the witch. Wanda brings out some tea and biscuits. That rocky river can be dangerous, you know. I lost my toad the last time it flooded. Somebody kind could go look for Tiny the toad. You have a new quest. Find a toad called Tiny for Wanda the witch. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was some clouds, which was okay for crops. Customers at the tavern were given free cider and cheese for finding Wanda's lost staff. Workers caught 36 fish on the river. Workers gathered 13 nuts and berries in the woods. Villagers weaved 4 new basketware. Drawn to the market. Travelers paid 20 gold for 15 goods. The prayer seemed to be answered when 15 bags of barley were found, funnily enough, in the village store.
Ooh, good. I will need those.
Some villagers drank far too much cider. Sometimes taking it easy can get difficult. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for hunting outlaws. Somebody needs to find a toad called Tiny for Wanda the
Ooh,
witch.
goody.
Workers washed dishes and tested the king. Rats helped themselves to 1 grain. The workers washed dishes and tested the wine and cheese were okay for the king. The new rat traps killed several fat rats helped themselves to 12 food. The new villagers ate up 130. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine. Which lookouts are sure there will. You have 100. You currently have this. There are currently 10 workers. There are C2, the village cot D2, the green D3, the marketplace. There are currently 10. There are E3, the village store. There are currently 0. There are still 0 F3, the barley fields. There are currently 0. You have the following quests. Find Wanda's lost toad. G3, the road to the east. G4, the woods. G5, the witch. G4, there are currently 10 workers. There are F5, merchandise for sale. 10 long swords for this day. E5, the river.
Oops.
There are now E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 0 work. There are D4, there are now 10 workers here. D5, the bridge to the south. C5, there are only 2 workers
Ooh.
You have 121 villagers, and you currently have 119. You have 179 gold. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Leave some villagers work on jobs for the witch. Wanda brings out some tea and biscuits. Sorry there is no cheese with the biscuits, said Wanda. My goat Heather ran off when scared by the wolves, explained Wanda. Somebody kind could go look for my goat. You have a new quest. Find Heather. Press any events this day in workers used improved seeds. The workers used 50 bags of grain and made villages weave 5 new basketware goods. A couple of villagers took some time off work to make a baby. As a complete drawn to the market, travelers paid 31 gold for 10 of your villagers return with the king's own hunting party from Monarch City. The horsemen and archers make short work of 11 wolves. Let's hope the king was pleased with 10 gold and 10 goods.
Alright.
Prayer seemed to be answered when 20 cheeses were found suspiciously at the Green Dragon Tavern. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for growing barley. Somebody needs to find Heather the goat for Wanda the witch. Workers swept the floors and checked the brandy was up to scratch for the king. The king is sincerely grateful. Rats helped themselves to 14 food. The new rat traps killed many rats before they had their fill. Villagers ate up 120 food this day. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain, which will be dodgy for crops. This lookouts are almost certain 27 outlaws will attack tomorrow.
Whoa.
Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf attack tomorrow. You have 122 villagers. You currently have 109 villagers. You have 0 bags of grain. You have 91 available food. You have 0 bags of grain. You have 91 available food. It is day. C4, the farm. D4, the mill and bakery. E4, there are currently 20. There are now F3. There are currently 0 work. There are now 20 workers here. G3, the road. There are now 10 workers here. B4, the weather station. 4 workers. You have 122. B3, the blacksmith. There are currently 0 workers here. The max. You have 210 gold coins and you have 13 goods to sell.
Ooh, that's a lot of gold.
It is a lot of gold. Good job, bud.
D5, the river merchant.
Let's spend it, shall we?
Indeed, let's spend our money.
Merchant 10 for 20 long staves, 40 drought resistant wheat, 30 gold. 24 longbows for watchtower defenders, 40 gold. You 20 drought total weather resistant wheat, 60 gold already purchased. Quick growing barley seeds, 60 gold. Loom for the cottage workers, 30 gold. Quick growing barley seeds, 60 gold. You hand over 60 gold for a supply of quick growing barley seeds. Loom for the cottage workers, 30 gold. 2 double beds for the cottage workers, 30 gold. You hand over 30 gold for 2 double beds for the cottage workers. Loom for the cottage workers, 30 gold. You hand over 30 gold for a new loom for the cottage workers. 2 new boards for the blacksmith, 40 gold. 10 premium farm chicken, new millstone, 40 gold. You hand over 40 gold for a new millstone for the mill.
And I think
To the state,
that's...
you have 10 gold coin. Merchant return staff of partial cure, 1 book of 1 wolf poison, 2 orphan baby, 20 Jesus, 20 back, 20 stone, 20 wooden oak, 10 attractive, 10 superior, 10 prayer book, 10 rat trap, new millstone, 10 premium, new 10 rat trap, 10 prayer book, 10 superior, 10 attractive, 20 wooden oak, 20 stone, 20 bags of grain, 20 Jesus, 20 back. You hand over 10 gold for 20 bags of grain. 20 Jesus, 2 orphan, 1 wolf poison, 1 book of advanced, 1 book of dragon, 1 book of advanced village management, 2 green gems. Special event. You hand over 2 green gems for this most valuable book. You scour its
Not
pages
a
and some
bad
treasure leave
idea.
out. Make rain when the sun shines. Move workers to other jobs when drought comes. Keep the vendors on the watchtower with longbows. If you have to choose, kill the wolves first. People are your biggest asset. Get some more from Hungry Village. Make friends with the king, the gods, and visitors at the tavern. All good advice, you reckon, but how to do it all. Press any key to continue. Merchandise for sale. 1 book of advanced village management. 2 green gems already purchased.
Yeah, which I am already showing you, but
1 book of dragon lore. 2 red rubies.
this is more important.
Special event. You hand over 2 red rubies for this most valuable book. You scour its pages and some treasures leap out. Dragons differ in character. This mostly depends on their color. Black dragons are brutes. You will need the help of the king and the gods for those. Red dragons are nasty but can be charmed and calmed with magic. Green dragons are unpleasant but can be persuaded with gold. Gold and silver dragons can be friendly but eat mountains of food. All good advice, you reckon, but how to do it all. Press any key to continue. Merchandise. Partial cure for the plague, 2 green gems.
Yep.
Partial cure for bouts of madness, 2 red rubies. It is day. F5, the river.
So,
You have 122 villagers, and you currently have 119 villagers doing some work. You have the following quests. Find Wanda's lost toad. Find Wanda's lost goat. Today's weather forecast is rain, which will be dodgy for crops. This forecast is 90% reliable.
Ooh, and I
F2, the guardhouse. There are currently 15 workers here. There are still...
Oh, I have...
Onion toes.
E2, the church. There are currently 10... There are now 5... F. There are currently 15 workers here. The maximum at this location is 25. How many workers do you want? Sorry, there are only 23 There are currently There are now 23 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type wire. Return. You bought 4 well-crafted longbows for 40 gold. You bought quick growing barley grain for 60 gold. You bought 2 double beds for the cottages for 30 gold. You bought a loom for the cottages for 30 gold. You bought a new millstone for the mill for 40 gold. You bought 20 bags of grain for 10 gold. You traded 2 green gems for a book of village management. You traded 2 red rubies for a book of dragon lore. You wonder if workers could spot the color of the dragon from the north road? Today's weather was rain, which was dodgy for crops. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 67 bags of grain in the barley fields.
Yeah.
With the new millstone, workers used 78 bags of grain and made 245 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery.
Wow.
Guards fought off 25 outlaws and 3 outlaws were killed in the attack. One dead outlaw had most of his head missing. One retreating outlaw was found with an arrow in his back. Villagers weave textiles with their new loom. Some villagers really enjoyed their new double beds and made 3 new babies.
Also, I think that's incorrect.
Villagers weave textiles with their new loom.
Because a textile is a type of, crap, I forget what it is.
Oh, you're good.
Either way, I just think a textile is like some kind of... I think the textile itself is a weaving tool,
Some villagers really...
but either way.
As a complete
Kingdom's growing, my friend.
Gone to the market. Travelers paid 21 gold. 20 food estate. Prayer seemed to be answered when 21 cheeses were found strangely. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for hunting outlaws. Some villagers drank many cups of tea with Wanda the Witch. Workers tended the garden and sampled some cakes for quality control. The king is sincerely grateful. Store workers prevented rats from eating any grain. Rats helped them. The new rat traps killed villagers. 8 up 105. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster for crops. This forecast is 90%. Lookouts are sure there will be no out. Lookouts are almost certain 12 wolves will attack tomorrow. It is day. F1 the 4, G1 the G2, F2 the guardhouse. There are currently 23 There are now 12 workers here. F3 the barley fields. There are currently 20 workers. There are now E4 the wheat. There are currently 0. There are now 0 workers here. E3 the D2 the D1 there are currently 0. There are C1 the hill. There are currently there are now D2 E F G4 the woods. G3 there are currently 0. Sorry, the maximum workers here is 5. There are now 5.
Here. Okay. Now.
You have 167 available food and you have 9 bags of grain. D4 the C4 the farmhouse. D4 the mill and baker. There are currently 10. There are now 1 more. D5 the bridge to the south. C merchandise for sale. 10 lost to this day. D5 there are currently 0. There are now A5 the A4 there are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here.
The way to get the toad...
Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type wire N. Okay, special event. Some village shirkers on the east road proved useful today. Heather the goat has been found. Which Wanda was a happy witch this day? Come to the farmhouse, Heather, make some friends and make some cheese, said Wanda. Magically from this day the cheese production at the farmhouse seems to double. You have completed this quest. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was floods, which was a past somebody who should have been working found the missing goat. Floods broke through the dike and ruined today's crop of 0 bags of wheat and 0 bags of barley. With the new millstone, workers used 7 bags of grain and made 21 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery. Workers caught 16 fish on the river. Tragically, one careless fisherman fell in the river and drowned. What luck, while fishing one lucky villager spots a small red ruby on the riverbed. Workers gathered 12 nuts and berries in the woods. Guards fought off 12 wolves and 3 wolves were killed in the attack. One armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and 5 outlaws were killed in the attack.
Nice.
Villagers weaved 4 textiles with their new. Some villagers really enjoyed their new double beds and made 2 new babies. As a complete coincidence, 2 youths can now be counted amongst your workforce. Gone to the market. Travelers paid 18 gold for 11 goods at the marketplace. Sellers at the market brew up some tea and take it easy as there are no more goods to sell. 5 villagers stare eastwards into the distance. Prayer seemed to be answered when 20 cheeses were found at the village store. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for making babies. Some villagers fetched water and chopped wood for Wanda.
Ooh, nice.
Workers swept the floors and checked the brandy was up. The king is sincere. Store workers prevented rats from eating any grain. Rats helped themselves to 12 food. The new rat traps killed many rats before they had their fill. Villagers ate up 104. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which will be bad for crops. Lookouts are sure there will be no. Lookouts are sure there will be no. You have 126 villager. You currently have 100. You have 2 bags of grain. You have 79 available food. It is B, C, D, E, F, F3. The flooded fields. There are currently 0 workers here. The peasants get bored watching water and return to the village. There are now 5 workers here. G3 the road to the. There are currently 5. There are now 0 workers here. G4 the F4 the dike. There are currently 0 work. There are now 0 work. F5 the river. G5 the witch's hut. There are currently 10. There are still 10 workers here. G2 the oak forest. F2 the guardhouse.
On your toes.
E2 the church. There are currently 5 workers here. There are now 10. D2 the green track. There are currently 0 workers here. There are C2. There are currently 10 workers here. There are B2 the watchtower. There are currently 4. There are still 4. There are currently 4 work. There are B3 the blacksmith. There are currently 0. There are C. There are currently 6 workers here. There are D. There are currently 10 workers here. There are E3. There are currently 0 workers here. There are still 0 workers here. F3 the flooded fields. F4 the dike. E4 the flooded field. D4 the mill and bakery. There are currently 1 work. There are still C4 the farmhouse. There are currently 0 workers. There are still 0. B4 the weather station. E4 the flooded fields. D4 the mill and bakery. D5 the bridge. C5 there are currently 9 workers. There are now 10 workers. B5 the river merchant. A5 A4 the woods. There are currently 10 workers. There are currently 10 workers here. There are still. You have 126 villagers and you currently have 122 villagers doing some work. A B1 there are currently 10 workers here. There are now. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type wire end. Okay, special event. Some village shirkers in the flooded fields proved useful today. Tiny the toad has been found. Which Wanda was a happy witch this day? Come sit by the river, Tiny. Make some friends and watch over the fishermen, said Wanda. Magically, from this day, fishing seems to be a lot safer. You have completed this quest. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was floods, which was a possible disaster for crops. Somebody idly watching the floods found Tiny the toad. Some lazy workers wasted time paddling in the floods. Floods broke through the dike and ruined today's crop of 0 bags of wheat and 0 bags of barley.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
With the new millstone, workers used 2 bags of grain and made 6 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery.
It's awful.
Yeah, but now the...
Workers caught 22 fish on the river.
Oh, wait, no, I can just buy more.
Workers gathered 16 nuts and berries in the woods. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and 2 outlaws were killed in the attack. Villages weaved 4 textiles. Some villagers really enjoyed their new double beds and made 3 new babies. As a complete coincidence, 3 youths can now belong to the market. Travelers paid 6 gold for sellers at the market brew up some tea and take prayer seemed to be answered when 18 bags of barley were found in the marketplace. Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for cheesemakers. Some villagers fetched water and chopped wood for Wanda. Workers washed dishes and tested the wine. The king is sincerely rats helped themselves to 1 grain. The new rat traps killed rats helped themselves. The new rat trap villagers ate up 100. Your peasants are revolting. 26 to 8 villagers died from malnutrition, so check all your buildings. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds, which lookouts are sure there will be no up. Lookouts are sure there will be at 100. You currently have 117.
It's alright.
It is day 30. B5 the river. A5 the york. C5 the river. E5 the river. F5 the river.
Really? Really? You abandoned me now?
So you pissed somebody off.
G5 the witch's hut.
You little...
G4 F4 the dike. E4
Can't
the
always
field.
make everybody happy. That's the lesson learned right there.
Yeah, I guess. Ugh.
You're
You have
doing
0
great
available
though
food,
so
and you have 17
far.
bags of grain.
Oh, wait, hold on.
D4 the mill and bakery. There are currently 1 work. There are now E4 there are currently there are C4 the farmhouse. There are currently sorry there are only 5 workers available. There are still G4 the woods 10 workers.
I may be able
There
to
are currently
salvage
10. There are
this.
still G3 the road to the east. There are currently 0. There are still 0 workers here. F3 the flood. There are currently 0 workers here. There are still F2 the guardhouse. There are currently 12. There are still 12 work. There are currently 12 workers here. There are F D C3 C4 the farmhouse. D4 C. There are now G4 the woods 10 workers. You have 121 villagers, and you currently have 114 villagers doing some work. G5 F5. There are currently 10 workers here. There are F4 the dike. F3 the flood east. F3 G F There are currently there are only 7 work. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 7 workers here.
Okay, so I think to unlock the last quest, you have to, you have to put some workers in the store.
You have 45 gold coins, and you have
Okay.
0 goods to sell. E2 the E1 E C2 the village. There are currently 10 workers here. The there C3 the king country resident. D3 the marketplace. There are currently 10 workers here. There are now 0 workers here. D2 the green rat. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the head or the goat and other animals? Ate 9 bags of grain and provided 28 eggs and 56 cheeses at the farmhouse.
Good,
Workers caught 32 fish on the river.
good.
Workers gathered 10 nuts and berries in the wood. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and 2 outlaws were killed in the attack. Unfortunately, 1 villager went missing in the hills, presumed dead. Villagers weaved 6 textiles with their new loom. Some villagers really enjoyed their new double beds and made 2 new babies. As a complete coincidence, 2 youths can now be count. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 4 gold for just 2 goods at the village store. 10 of your workforce returned with 8 grateful peasants from Hungry Village. Prayer seemed to be answered when a small green gem was found outside the Green Dragon Tavern. Some villagers drank far too much cider. Sometimes taking it easy can get difficult. Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for baking bread. Some villagers drank many cups of tea with Wanda the
Good.
witch. Workers did some laundry and checked the brand. The king is sincere. Store workers prevented rats from eating any. Rats helped themselves to 3 food. The new rat traps killed many rats. Villagers ate up 123 food this day. Your peasants are revolting. 27 villagers. 9 villagers left the village in search of food, so check all your buildings.
So I lost 1 villager, technically.
Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain. Lookouts are sure there will be no. Lookouts are sure there will be no. It is day. E2 the church 10 workers. C3 the king country residence 6 workers. E3 the village store 7 workers. There are currently 7 workers here. The maximum at this location is 0. There are now 7 work. A4 the woods 10 workers. There are currently 10. There are E4 the weather station 4 work. B5 the river. C5 the river. C4 the farm. D4 E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 0 work. There are now F3. There are currently there are only 1 workers available. There B4 the weather station 4 B 5 C D E F4 the dike. F3 the barley F5 F5 the E5 the river. There are currently 10 work. There are F4 the dike. There are now 10 workers here.
Okay, I'm putting these here just in case.
A5 the oracle's house 10 workers. G5 the witch's hut 10 workers. A1 the hills 9 workers. There are currently 9. There are now 0 workers. A2 the hill quarry. A5 the oracle. B5 the river. There are currently 0 workers here. The max. There are now 0 workers. There are now A4 the woods. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum is Z1. There are still 0. E4 the mill and E4 the wheat fields. EF3 the barley. There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 0 work. There are currently 0 work. Sorry, there are only 0 workers. B4 the weather station. C4 the farmhouse. E4 the wheat fields. F4 the dike. 10 A5 the oracle's house. 10 B5 the river. C5 the river. E5 the river. 10 D5 the bridge to the E5 F5 the river. G5 the witches. D2 the watchtower. C2 the village cottages. 10 work. D2 the Green Dragon Tavern. 10 there are now 0. E2 the church. 10 work. C3 the king country residence. 6 E3 the village store. B4 the weather station. 4 workers. A4 the woods. B C4 the farmhouse. D4 D3 C3 the D3 C D E3 F3 E3. There are currently 7 workers here. There are now F3 the bar F4 the F3. There are currently 0 workers here. Sorry, there are only 7. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 7 D3 D4 the mill and bakery. C4 the
How many
farmhouse.
people you got at the church?
10.
There are currently
Okay,
10
good.
workers.
Yeah.
There are currently 10. There are now 0 workers here. DE4 the wheat field. EF3 there are currently 7 workers here. The maximum there are now 17 workers here.
Alright, now listen to this. This is gonna be epic.
Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type Y return. You are dismayed to hear another 13 outlaws have arrived in the hills.
Not that.
Some folk put herbs in their cookies, some put herbs in their pipes, and the plague stayed away. Some folks had mushroom soup, others had mushrooms in their tea. Miraculously, nobody went mad. Today's weather was rain, which was dodgy for crops. Workers used improved seeds to grow 36 bags of grain in the wheat fields. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 39 bags of grain in the barley fields. Workers caught 14 fish on the river. Villagers weaved 4 textiles with their new loom. Some villagers really enjoyed their new double beds and made 2 new babies. As a complete coincidence, 2 youths can now be counted amongst your workforce. Visiting travelers paid a handsome 4 gold for just 2 goods. Prayer seemed to be answered when 5 gold was found. Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for growing wheat.
Wait, what?
Some villagers drank many cups of tea with workers washed dishes and test the king is in. Rats helped themselves to what the new rat traps killed. Store workers stopped rats from eating any food. Villagers ate up 14 food. Your peasants are revolting. 121 villagers.
Whoa, 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 what?
40 villagers died in the revolt, so check all your buildings. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine, which will be good for crops. Lookouts are rather hazy about outlaw activity tomorrow. Lookouts saw wolves coming out of the forest and will attack tomorrow. It is day E3, the village, E3, the marketplace, E4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum, sorry, there are only 5 workers.
Can I not?
E4, the wheat fields. There are currently
All right.
17.
So hold on. It's all about response, right?
There are now,
Just think what you can do here. Check your total count.
you have 83 villagers.
That's 83. Okay, so we're low. We're lower. Definitely some prayers. I feel
E4,
like
there are
should be
currently
going
0
on.
workers here. There are now 10 workers here. C4, the farmhouse. There are currently 0. There are still 0 workers.
Crap. Okay.
You have 0 available food, and you have 82 bags of grain.
Okay, so I'm good on grain. That's good.
E4, the weather station. B3, the blacksmith. There are currently 0 workers here. There are still 0 workers here. You have 58 gold coins, and you have 6 goods to sell. B2, the light. There are currently 1 workers here. C2, the village cottages. 7 work. There are currently, sorry, there are only 7 workers available. There. C3, the king's C3, the marketplace. C, there are currently 3 workers. Sorry, there are only 3. D3, the market. There are currently 0 workers. There are E3, the village. There are currently 7 workers here. There are now 0 workers here. You do not have a quest. C1 to the witch. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 14. There are G5. There are currently 7 workers. There are now 0 workers here. G4, the woods. There are currently 0 workers. There are F5. There are currently 0 work. There are F4, the dike. There are currently 7. There are still. Today's weather forecast is sunshine. There are currently 7. There are now 0 workers. E4, E3, the village store. E2, the F2, the guardhouse. G2, F3, the barley fields. There are currently 0 workers. There are E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 12 workers here. There are now F3. There are currently 14 workers here. There are now 20 workers here. D3, the marketplace.
Okay, that was a very bad misstep.
Okay, it happens, right? We learn from those mistakes.
F3, the barley fields. 20 workers. There are currently 20 workers. There are still 20 workers here. B4, the weather station. 1 work. There are D4, the mill and bakery. 10 workers. A5, the oracle's house. 7 workers. There are currently B2, the watchtower. 1 workers. There are currently C2, the village cottages. 7. There are currently 7 workers. There are E2, the church. 7 workers. There are currently 7 workers here. There are now 0
I'm
workers
gonna
here.
take those out.
C3, the king's country residence. 3 workers. There are F3, the barley fields. 20 work. There are B4, the weather station. 4 workers. C4, the farmhouse. There are currently D4, the mill and bake. There are currently 10. There are D3, the marketplace. E3, the village store. D3, there are currently 0. There are E3, the village. There are currently there are now G5. There are currently 0. There are now 0 work. G4, the woods. G3, the road to the east. G2, the oak forest. G1, the forest. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum is sorry, there are only 9 workers. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum there are now 9 workers here.
Oh wait, no, I need those.
There are currently 9 workers here. There are now G2, F2. There are currently 0 workers. There are now E2, the church. There are currently 0. There are C2, the Green Dragon Tavern. Are you sure you wish to end today? Return. Today's weather was drought, which was bad for workers used quick growing seeds to grow 16 bags of grain with the new millstone. Workers used 82 bags of grain and made 516 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery.
Okay, good.
Wolves broke through the village defenses and dragged away 8 unlucky peasants. So
Not
check all your
good.
buildings. Villages weave 4 textiles with their new loom.
That's not good at all.
Some villagers really enjoyed their new double beds and made 2 new babies. As a visiting travelers paid a handsome 4 gold for just 2 good. Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for finding things in the woods. Workers swept the floors and sampled some cakes for quality control for the king. The king is sincerely grateful. Store workers prevented rats from eating any grain. Rats helped themselves to 8 food. The new rat traps killed many rats before they had their fill. Villagers ate up 88 food this day. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which will be bad for crops. Lookouts estimate 10 outlaws will attack tomorrow. Lookouts forecast there will be no. You have 77 villagers. You currently have 74 villagers. You have 16 bags of grain. You have 420 available food. You have 62 gold coins. You have 8 goods to sell. You have 5 gems. You have 2 rubies.
5 gems.
All right,
2
so
rubies.
you're good on food. So I think a primary here is attracting people. You need more people.
Yep, I am on it.
Yeah, you need to get people.
You have 5 stone block. You have 1 oak wood. Rumors suggest there are around 6 to this. E, F, G2, G3, the road to the east. There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 3 workers. F2, the guardhouse. E2, the church. There are E1, the forest. There are currently 0 workers here. The mac there are still E3, the village. There are currently 9 workers. There are F3, the barley fields. G3, the road to there are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. G5, there are currently 0 workers. There are now 1 more. There are currently, sorry, there are only 2 workers. There are now 2 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type. Today's weather was drought, which was workers used quick growing seed with the new millstone. Workers used 25 back guards fought off 8 outlaws and 2 outlaws worked 1 dead out 1 reaped. Villages weaved 8 textiles. Some villagers really enjoyed as a complete coincidence. 20 food is taken east. Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for growing wheat. Some villagers fetched water and chopped wood for what workers did some laundry and the king is sincerely great. Rats helped themselves to 20 the new rat traps. Villagers ate up 91. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which will lookouts forecast there will be no. Lookouts estimate 11 wolves will attack. You have 79. Lookouts estimate you have 79 villagers. It is day 30. G4. F4. The dike. F3. The barley fields. There are currently 19 workers here. There are now E4. There are currently 0 work. There are now 20 workers here. There are currently 20 workers here. The maximum there are. You have 79 villagers, and you currently have 78 villagers. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Return. You are dismayed to hear another 13. Today's weather was drought, which workers used improved seeds to grow 80 bags of grain in the wheat fields.
There we go.
With the new millstone, workers used 64 bags of grain and made 172 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery. Guards fought off 11 wolves and 2 wolves were one dead wolf had one retreating wolf was fought. Villages weaved 4 textiles with their. A couple of villagers got together in their new double bed to make a baby. As an oracle owl tells you, tomorrow will be an excellent day for cheesemakers. Some villagers fetched water and chopped wood for Wanda. Workers did some laundry and tested the wine, and the king is sincerely great. Rats helped themselves to 1 grain. The new rat traps killed several. Rats helped the new rat traps killed many villagers. Ate up 83. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which lookouts forecast there will be. Lookouts estimate 6 wolves will attack. You have 80 villagers. You currently have 78 villagers. There are currently 20 workers. There are still F3 the barley fields. E3 the village store. D3 the there are currently 0 workers here. There are still 0 workers here. D3 the marketplace. There are C3 the king. There are currently 5 workers here. The maximum is there are now 0 G5. There are currently 2 workers here. The maximum Z2. Sorry, there are only 9 workers. There are currently 2. There are now 9 F5 the river. There are currently 0. There are E5 the river. D5 C5 the river merchant. Merchandise for sale. You have 62. Merchant 10, 420 long stay, drought resist, total weather resistant wheat 60 gold, quick growing barley seed 60 gold, bloom for cottage workers 30 gold, 2 double beds, new forge for the blacksmith 40, 10 premium farm chickens 30 gold, new millstone for the mill 40 gold already, 10 rat traps 20 gold, new 10 premium new hands over. It is C4 the farmhouse. There are currently 0 work. Sorry, there are only 0 workers of G4 the woods. G3 the barley fields. There are currently 0 workers here. There are F4 the dike. There are currently 0. There are E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 20 workers. There are still 20 workers here. D4 the mill and bakery. Today's weather forecast is drought with. C4 the farmhouse. D4 the mill and bakery. E4 the wheat fields 20 workers. A5 the oracle's house 9 workers. G5 the witch's hut 9 workers. B2 the watchtower 3 C2 the village cottages 9 C2 the watchtower.
Stay.
There are currently 3 workers. There are C2 the village. There are currently 9 workers. It is day 39. D2 the Green Dragon Tavern. There are currently 0. There are E2 the church. There are currently 0. There are still 0 workers here. F2 the oak 4 G3 the road to F3 the barley fields. There are currently 0. There are E3. There are currently 0. There are currently 0. There are C3 the king. There are currently 0. There are E3 the blacksmith. There are currently 0. There are C4 the there are currently 3 workers. There are C. There are currently 0. There E4. There are currently 9 workers here. The max. There are still 9 workers here. E4 the wheat. There are currently 20. There are C. There are currently 9. There are now E4 the wheat fields 20 workers. A5 the oracle's house. 9. There are currently 10. There are currently 10 workers. There are now 6. G5 the witch's hut. 9. There are currently B2 the watchtower. 3 workers. There are currently C2 the village cottages. 9. There are F2 the guardhouse. 8 workers. There are currently 8 workers here. The maximum is there E4 the weather station. 3 workers. There are E4 the wheat fields. 20 workers. There are currently 20 workers. There are A5 the oracle's house. 6 workers. G5 the witch's hut. 10 workers. FEDC A4 B4 the weather station. B3 the B5 C5 the C4 the farmhouse. There are currently 0 workers here. Sorry, there are only 6 workers of it. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 6 workers here.
Ooh, I know.
C5 the river merchant. Merchant returned ring of charm. Staff of partial cure for bouts of madness. Partial 1 book of dragon. 1 book 1 wolf poison 1 2 orphan babies 1 green gem. You hand over 1 small green gem for 2 orphan babies. It is day 30. B5 the river. B4 the weather station. A4 the woods. C4 the farm. There are currently 6 workers. There are now 10 workers here. D4 the mill and bake. E4 F4 the dike. There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 6 workers. There are currently 0. There are now 6 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the return? You bought 10 premium. You traded a green. As a complete coincidence, 2 youths came. You traded a green gem for 2 orphans and made a childless couple happy. As a complete coincidence, 2 youths came of age today. As you traded a green. As today's weather was drought, which was bad for crop. Workers used improved seeds. Took those new chickens and fed 9 bags of grain and provided 76 eggs and 76 cheeses at the farmhouse. Guards fought off 6 wolves and 4 wolves. 1 dead wolf had 1 reed. Villages weaved 4 texts. A couple of. As a complete oracle owl tells you, tomorrow will be an excellent day for making babies. Some villagers drank many cups of tea with Wanda the witch.
Good.
Rats helped themselves to 3 grain. The new rat traps killed.
Well, we like to hear that.
Yeah.
The new rat villagers ate up tomorrow's weather forecast.
Everybody's gonna be having a little good time tomorrow.
Look out, tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds. Lookouts are sure there will be no outlaw. Lookouts are sure there will be no. You have 91 villagers. You currently have 90 villagers. You have 47 back. You have 439 available food. It is F2 the guard. There are currently 10 workers here. There are now 0 F4 the dike. There are currently 6 workers here. There are now E4 the wheat field. There are currently 20 workers here. There are currently. Sorry, there are only 17. There are currently 0 workers here. There are now 7 B4 the weather station. 4 workers. C4 the farmhouse. 10 workers. There are D4 there are currently there are now 10 workers here. G4 the woods. G5 the witch's hut. There are currently 10 workers here. There are still 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN.
There
Okay,
we
special
go.
event.
Finally.
Some villagers work on jobs for Wanda looks very sad bringing out some tea and biscuits. I was sad when I lost my goat and my toad, said Wanda. But most of all I miss my cat called Dignity.
Ah, a cute kitten.
Somebody kind could go look for my cat. You have a new quest. Find a cat called Dignity for Wanda the Witch. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was some clouds, which was okay for crops. Return to workers used improved seeds to grow 48 bags of grain in the wheat fields. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 36 bags of grain in the barley fields. With the new millstone, workers used 78 bags of grain and made 257 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery. Villages weaved 8 textiles with their new loom. Some villagers really enjoyed their new double beds and made 6 new babies.
Yeah,
Wow.
there we go.
As a complete
Wow.
coincidence, 6 youths can now be counted amongst your workforce. 10 of your workforce return with 7 grateful peasants from Hungry Village.
Much better.
Oracle Owl tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for growing barley. Somebody needs to find a cat called Dignity for Wanda the Witch. Rats helped themselves to 3 grain. The new rat traps. Rats helped themselves to 44 food. The new rat traps killed many rat villagers. Ate up 102 food this day. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which will be bad for crops. This forecast is 90%. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf attack tomorrow.
Okay.
To this day, you have 104 villagers.
Now that my villager count is back up.
G4, the woods. G3, the road. F3, the barley fields. You have 32 gold coins, and you have 32 goods. E3, the village store. D3, the market. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 workers here.
To get the cute fluffy cat.
E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 20 work. There are There are now 20 workers here. You have 104 villagers, and you currently have 94 village. G3, the road to the east. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event.
Oh, that's so cute.
Workers on the market served an unusual customer today. Dignity, the cat has been found. Which Wanda was a happy witch this day? Come to the village store, Dignity. There is a little job you will enjoy, said Wanda. Magically, from this day, rats at the store lost their appetites.
Not magically, but okay.
You have completed this quest. Press any key to convince this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was drought, which was bad for crops. Somebody working on the market took time off to serve a cat called Dignity. Workers used improved seeds to grow 40 bags of grain in the wheat fields. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 30 bags of grain in the barley fields. With the new millstone, workers used 78 bags of grain and made 245 low. Villages weaved 8 textiles with their new loom. A couple of villagers got together in their new double bed to make a baby. As a complete cup drawn to the market, travelers paid 21 gold for 14 goods. 20 food is taken east towards Hungry Village by 10 of your most trusted workers. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for growing wheat. Some villagers drank many cups of Dignity. The cat villagers ate up one on tomorrow's weather forecast is drought. Lookouts are sure there will be no. Lookouts are sure there will be no. You have 105. You currently have 104. You have 42 back. You have 654 available food. You have 42. It is F3, the barley fields.
Okay.
F1, the forest. E1, the forest. E1, the road to the north. There are only 1 workers available. There are now 1 workers here. D2, the D3, E3, the F3, the barley fields. There are currently 20. There are now 60. E1, the road to. There are now 5 workers here.
Now that fiasco's over, let's get a
Today's weather forecast is drought, which will be.
let's get a read on this dragon.
Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YRN. Okay, special event.
Ooh. Speaking of which,
Panic Crypt, the village as a black dragon descends on the village. Some folk just run around, deserting their jobs. To people's horror, the dragon sets up its lair on the north road. Perhaps we should talk to it, says Brian. Perhaps we should feed Brian to it, reply the villagers.
wow.
Fortunately, you remember better advices on hand, and the dragon lore book the merchant sells. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. No one will ever forget the day the black dragon arrived. Folks panicked, so check all your buildings. Frantically, you scour your dragon lore book for ways to quell a black dragon. You learn that the black dragon can only be defeated with the king's own cavalry and the intervention of the gods. So you have to win the king's admiration and the love of the gods, says Brian the Wise. Today's weather was drought, which was bad for crops. Workers used improved seeds to grow 68 bags of grain in the wheat fields. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 12 bags of grain in the barley fields. With the new millstone, workers used 75 bags of grain and made 202 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery. Villages weaved 8 textiles with their new loom. Some villagers really enjoyed their new double beds and made 3 new babies. As a complete coincidence, 3 youths got drawn to the market. Travelers paid 13 gold for 11 goods. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for hunting outlaws. Some villagers drank many cups of tea with Wanda the witch. Dignity, the cat, prevented rats from eating any food or grain.
Yeah, so the cat is getting rid of the rats now.
Villagers ate up 130 food this day. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds, which will be okay for crop. Lookouts forecast there will be no. Lookouts forecast there will be no wolf. It is day. You have 66 gold. D2, the Green Dragon Tavern.
Okay, now.
C2, the village. B2, the B3, the B4, the weather station.
So now that the dragon is here, it will periodically burn locations. So, make sure you have stone and wood on hand. Oh, and also you have this.
B1, the hills. C1, the hills. D1, the dragon's lair. Workers can visit the dragon and beg for mercy in the dragon's lair. B2, the watchtower. 3 workers. There are C2, the village cottage. There are currently D3. There are currently 9 workers here. There are F3, the barley fields. There are currently 15. There are D4, the weather. There are D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 9 workers here. E4, the wheat fields. 9. There are A5, the oracle's house. There are G5, the witch's hut. There are now 10. There are now B2, the watchtower. 4 workers.
Oh, and
You have completed all of Wanda's quests, but you can still visit Wanda and drink her tea. You have 108 villagers, and you currently have 98 villagers doing some work.
yep, so I finally did all of those.
B3, the blacksmith. B5, the river. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 workers here. You have 726 available food, and you have 47 bags of grain. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Return. Today's weather was some clouds, with workers used improved seeds to grow 32 bags. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 58 bags with the new millstone. Workers caught 22 fish. One careless fisherman fell in the river but was fished out alive. Villages weaved 8 textiles with some villagers really as a complete coincidence. 2 youths drawn to the market. Travelers paid 20. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for making babies. Dignity, the cat, prevented rats from eating any food or grain. Villagers ate up 108 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds, with lookouts are almost certain. 9 outlaw lookouts are almost certain. 26 wolves. You have 110 villagers.
Whoa.
You currently have 108. You have 55 back. You have 898 available. You have 88 gold coin. You have 18 goods to sell. You have 2 rubies. There are currently 10 workers. There are now 0 workers here. There are C4, the farm. D4, the mill and baker. E4, the wheat fields. F3, the barley field. There are currently 20. There are not G2, the oak forest. G2, the F. There are currently 0. There are now 25 workers here. Today's weather was rain, which workers used improved seeds to grow 36 back with the new millstone. Workers used 82 back. Workers caught 8 fish on the river. Guards fought off 9 outlaws and 3 outlaws were killed. 1 dead outlaw, 1 retreat. Guards fought off 26 wolves and 3 wolves were 1 dead, 1 villagers weaved 8 textiles with their new. Some villagers really enjoyed their new double beds and made 6 new babies.
Yeah, take that.
As a complete coincidence, 6 youths can now be drawn to the market. Travelers paid 14 gold, 10 of your workforce return with 8 grateful peasants from hungry. Oracle Al tells you many things, but none of them useful. Dignity, the cat prevented rats from eating any food or grain. Villagers ate up 136. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine, which will be good for crops. This lookouts are sure there will be no lookouts are almost certain. 7 wolves will. You have 124. You currently have 98. You have 9 bags of grain. You have 1,003 available food.
Whoa.
You have 9 bags of grain. You have 102 gold coin. You have 13 goods to sell. You have 2 rubies. You have 5 stone blocks. You have 1 oak wood beams. Rumors suggest there are around 55. Rumors suggest there are thought to be 53. Will return to Dragon Village to this day. F2. The guard. There are currently 25 workers here.
Okay, now.
There are now 4 workers here. D3. The marketplace. 10 workers. C3. D3. The black. There are currently 0 workers here. 4. There are now 10. B4. B5. C5. The river. D5. The bridge to the south. D4, the E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 20 workers. There are F. There are now 20 E. D, C3, the king's country resident. B3, the blacksmith.
Let's...
B4, the weather station. C4, the farmhouse. C5, the river. D5, the bridge to the south. E5, the river. F5, the river. C5, B5, the river.
Okay, the merchant isn't back yet.
A4, A3, the road to the west. There are currently 0 workers. 20 gold is collected. C5, the river. D5, the bridge. There are only 7 workers. D4, the mill and bakery. E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 20 workers here. There are now 17. D5, the bridge to the south. There are currently 10 gold and 10 goods are collected and 10 workers are ready to return. You are dismayed to hear another 14 outlaws over. Some folks put herbs in their cookies. Some folks had mushroom soup. Others had mushrooms in their tea. Miraculously, nobody went mad. To everyone's horror, the dragon set fire to the village cottages. Sadly, 3 villagers were burned alive. No work can be done in the cottages until they are repaired. Today's weather was sunshine, which was good for crops. Workers used improved seeds to grow 30 bags of. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 67 with the new millstone. Workers used 78 bags. Workers caught 4 fish on the river. 1 careless fisherman fell in the river, but guards fought off 8 wolves and 4 wolves were killed in the attack. 1 dead wolf had a big dent in its head. 1 retreating wolf was found with an arrow. Workers at the smithy forged 10 new metalware goods. Drawn to the market, travelers paid 22 gold. Sellers at the market brew up some tea and take it. 20 gold is taken westward. 10 gold and 10 goods. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for making baby. Dignity, the cat prevented rats from eating any. Villagers ate up 126. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain, which lookouts are sure there will be. Lookouts are almost certain. 23 wolves. You have 121 to this day. D4, the wheat fields. There are currently 17 workers here. There are now F2, G2, F. There are currently E2, the church, D2, C2, B2, the watchtower. There are currently 4 workers here. The maximum is located. There are A2, the hill. There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 8 workers available. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 8 workers here. B2, the watchtower, C2, the burned out village cottages.
So now you have this.
You need another 9 lumber and 0 stone to start repairs. A2, the hill. There are currently 8 workers. There are now 0 workers. B, C, D, E, F, D2, the oak forest. There are currently 0 workers here. Sorry, there are only 8 workers. There are currently 0. There are now 8 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end today? Please, workers used quick growing seed. Today's weather was floods, which workers used floods broke through.
Oh, crap.
With the new millstone, workers used 28 bags of grain and made 79 loaves of. Workers caught 9 fish on the river. Guards fought off 23 wolves and 4 wolves were killed. 1 dead wolf had a big dent in its head. 1 workers at the smithy forged 8 new metalware goods. Drawn to the market, travelers paid 14 gold for. Sellers at the market brew up some. Oracle Al tells you many things, but none of workers in the oak forest cut lumber and made 4. Dignity, the cat prevented. Villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds. Lookouts are sure there will be no. You have 100. You currently have 100. There are currently 8 workers. There are now A2. There are now B2, the watchtower. C2, the burned out village. D2, the green dragon. E2, the church. F2. There are now 0 workers here. F3, the flooded fields. E3, the village store. There are currently 0. There are C3. There are C3. The D3. There are currently 10 work. There are now 10 C3. The king's country. There are currently 0 workers here. There are now C4, the farmhouse. C, D3, E3, 2, the F2, the guard. E. There are now 10.
I need to get back in the... Oh.
E4, the flooded fields. D4, the mill and bakery. D5, the bridge to the south. E5, the river merchant.
Ah, good.
You have 108 gold coin. 10 short bows for more deadly wolf hunts, 50 gold. 10 long swords for more effective outlaw hunts, 50 gold. You hand over 50 gold for 10 handy-looking short bows. 10 short bows for you hand over 50 gold for 10 shiny new long swords. 4 long bows, 40 gold already purchased. It is day 4. E1, the forest. There are now 10 workers. B1, the hip. There are only 2 workers of it.
Okay.
Are you sure you wish to end the day? Return. You bought 10 wicked looking long swords for 50. You bought 10 handy looking short bows for 50 gold. You bought 10 wicked looking long swords for 50 gold. Today's weather was some clouds, which was okay for crop. With the new millstone, workers used 0 bags of grain and workers caught 3 fish on the river. Armed villagers pursued wolves into the forest and their short bows shortened the lives of 5 wolves. Workers at the smithy forged 11 new metalware goods. Drawn to the market, travelers paid 14 gold for 11 goods at the market. Sellers at the market brew up some tea. Prayer seemed to be answered when 21 cheeses were found strangely deep in the woods. Watch Oracle Al tells you prayer seemed to be answered when 21 cheeses were found strangely deep in the woods, watched over by a crow.
Ooh, that's new.
Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for cheesemakers. Workers at the quarry carved out 5 large blocks of stone. Workers in the oak forest cut lumber and made 5 beams of oak wood. Workers washed dishes and tested the wine and cheese were okay for the king. The king is sincerely grateful. Dignity, the cat prevented rats from eating any food. Villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds, which lookouts are sure there will be no wolf. It is day. B2, B1, the hills. B2, B3, C3, the market. E3, the village store. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 0. There are F4, the dike. You have 900 E4.
All right, Mr. Logan, I do have to run here in a minute for something going on.
All right.
But I want to thank you and all of your subscribers for hanging out. Hope you guys enjoy the rest
C1
of the
to
video.
B1 to hills. There are now 10 workers here. Are you return?
Thanks, Logan.
Yeah, thank you.
Return. You are
You're
dismayed that
welcome,
level
buddy.
14.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
You too.
Today's weather was some clouds. Workers caught 13 fish on one careless fisherman. Op scenes window. List scene. Zoom. Leave. Close but. Ops 20. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their long swords made short work of 7 outlaws. Unfortunately, one villager went missing in the hills. Armed villagers pursued wolves into the forest, but no wolves were found. Unfortunately, one villager went missing in the hills, presumed dead. Unfortunately, one villager went missing in the forest, presumed eaten. Workers at the smithy forged 11 new men. Drawn to the market. Travelers paid. Sellers at the market grew up. 10 of your villagers returned with a gang of armed thugs from Greedy City. The thugs carry the heads of 10 outlaws. No 10 the horsemen and archers make short work of 11 wolves. Let's hope the thugs carry the heads of 10 outlaws. Nobody will argue with those thugs. That's a fair day's work for 20 gold. 10 of your villagers return with a gang of armed thugs from Greedy City. The 10 the horsemen and archers make short work of 11 wolves. Let's hope the king was pleased with 10 gold and 10 goods. Prayer seemed to be answered when 7 gold was found in the collection box. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for baking bread. Workers at the quarry carved out 3 large workers in the oak forest cut lumber and made 3 beams of workers did some laundry and tested the wine and cheese were okay for the king. The king is in dignity. The cat prevented rat. Villagers ate up 143. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds. Lookouts are sure there will be no this day. D2 the watchtower. C2 the burned out village. 10 wood and 5 stone are delivered and work can start. There are now 10 workers here. D2 the Green Dragon Tavern. D3 the D4 the wheat fields. F4 the dike. You have 828 available food, and you have 0 bags. There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 12 workers available. There are now 12 workers here. E5, the river. There are currently 5 workers here. The maximum. There are now D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 5 work. There are now 5 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Return to everyone's horror. The dragon set fire to the wheat fields. Sadly, 4 villagers were burned alive. No work can be done. Today's weather was some clouds. With the new millstone, workers used 0 back. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their long swords made. Unfortunate workers at the drawn to the market. Sellers at the market. Prayer seemed to be answered when 18 bags of Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for hunting wolves. Workers at the quarry. Workers in the oak. Workers swept the floors. The king is sincere. Builders have now completed 16. Dignity. The cat prevented rats from eating any. Villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds. Lookouts are sure there will. Lookouts are almost certain. 14 wolves to this day. E4 F2 the guardhouse. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is. Sorry, there are only 8 workers. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 8 workers. G2 the oak forest. 10 workers. B3 the blacksmith. 10 workers. There are currently 10. There are not. You have 56. B5 the river. A5 the C5 the river. DE5 the river. F5 the river. You have 6. You have 56 gold coins and you have 0 goods. E3 the village. D3 the marketplace. There are currently 10 work. There are E3 the village. There are E2 the church. There are currently 10 workers. There are still. It is hard to put a figure on how much of the gods' respect you have earned, but Brian says it is around 367. Everyone else reckons you have earned the benevolence of the gods. It is hard to put a figure on how much of the king's favor you have gained, but Brian says it is around 506. Everyone else reckons the king has praise for you. E4 the burnt wheat fields. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum. There are now 20 workers here. You have 692 available food, and you have 18 bags of grain. Are you sure you wish to end the return? Today's weather was some clouds. With the new millstone, workers used 18 wolves broke through the village defenses and dragged away 6 unlucky peasants. So armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their long swords made short work of 2 outlaws. Armed villagers pursued wolves into the forest and their short bows shortened the lives of 3 wolves. Prayer seemed to be answered when 19 bags of barley were found near the farmhouse. Oracle Al tells you many things, but none of them useful. Workers at the quarry carved out 4 large workers in the oak forest cut lumber and made 5 beams of oak wood. Workers did some laundry and checked the brandy. The king. Builders have now completed 30%. Workers have now completed 22. Dignity. The cat prevented rats from eating any. Villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain. With lookouts forecast there will be no. Lookouts forecast there will be no. You have 100. You currently have. You have 19 bags. You have 617 available to this day. Are you sure you wish to end return? Today's weather was rain. With the new millstone, workers armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their lumps. Unfortunately, one villager went missing. Armed villagers pursued wolves. Prayer seemed to be answered when a small red ruby is. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for catching fish. Workers at the quarry carved out 5 large workers in the oak. Workers washed dishes and fed the king. Builders have now completed 40. Workers have now completed 43. Dignity. The cat prevented rats from eating any. Villagers ate up 104. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain, which will be this. E5 the river. F5 the river. G5 the witch. F5 DC5 the river. B5 the river. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to return? Today's weather was rain. With the new millstone, workers caught 30 fish on the river. What luck. While fishing, one lucky villager spots a small red ruby on the river. Wolves broke through the village defenses and dragged away 9 unlucky peasants. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills, but no outlaws were. Armed villagers pursued wolves into the forest and their short bows shortened the lives of 2 wolves. Prayer Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for growing barley. Workers at the quarry carved out 3 large blocks of workers in the workers tended the garden. The king is sincerely. Builders have now completed 6. The workers tended the garden and sampled some cakes for quality control. The builders have now completed 60% of the workers have now completed 64. Dignity. The cat prevented rats. Villagers ate up 105 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain. With lookouts reckon there will be no. Lookouts reckon there will be no wolf. You have 96 villagers. You currently have 83 villagers. You have 0 bags of grain. You have 492 to this. A4 the woods. A3 the road to the west. A2 the hill quarry. B2 the watch. B3 the B4. B. There are currently 2 workers. There are now 4 workers. B4 the weathers. There are currently 2 workers here. There are not. D4 the mill and bake. There are currently 3 workers here. The maximum. There E4 the burnt wheat fields. 8. There are currently 18 workers. There are now A5 the oracles. There are currently 8 workers. There are B5 the river. 6. There are currently 6 workers here. There E1 the forest. There are currently 2. There are F1 the forest. 10 work. E1 D C1 B. There are currently 0 workers. Sorry, there are only 6 workers available. B2 the watch. C2 the burned out village cottages. There are currently 8 workers here. The maximum. There are now 10 work. D2 the green dragon. There are E2 the church. There are currently 8 workers here. The maximum. There are now 10 F2 the guardhouse. There are currently 6 workers here. The maximum. There are now C1 the B1. There are currently 0 work. Sorry, there are only 8 workers. C D E F2 the guardhouse. F3 the barley fields. There are currently 0 work. There are 20 workers here. The maximum at this location is 20. How many? There are now 8. D4, C3, C2, the burnt, D2, the watch, C. There are now 10 workers here. D2, the watchtower. CD2, the green dragon. There are currently 0. E4, the F4, the dike. There are currently 0 where there are F5, the river. F3, the G3, the road to the east. G4, the woods. Today's weather forecast is rain, which will be dodgy for crops. This forecast is 50%. FE4, the burnt wheat. D4, the mill and paper. D3, the C3, the kick. C4, B4, the weather state. There are currently 4 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day to everyone's horror? The dragon set fire to the marketplace. Fortunately, no one was burnt. No work can be done in the marketplace. Today's weather was floods, which was a possible disaster. Floods broke through the dike and ruined today's crop of 0. Armed villagers pursued wolves, and prayer seemed to be answered. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for finding things in the woods. Workers at the quarry carved out 2 large. Workers in the oak forest cut lumber and made 5 beams. Workers washed dishes and sampled some cake. The king is sincerely. Builders have now completed 76. Workers have now completed 84. Dignity the cat prevented. Villagers ate up 112. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods. Lookouts are sure there will be. Lookouts are sure there will be. You have 97 villagers. You currently have 86. You have 0 bags of. You have 380 available food. You have 56 gold. You have 0 goods. You have 4 rubies. You have 28 stone blocks. You have 26 oak wood beam. Rumors suggest there are around 50 outlaw. Rumors suggest there are thought to be 31 wolves in the fort. Return the dragon to state. B5. B5. The river merchandise potential. New forge for the blacksmith. 10 premium farm chickens. New millstone for the mill. 10 rat traps. 10 prayer books. 40 gold. You hand over 40 gold for 10 prayer books for the church. It is day 5. E1. The forest. 10 workers. D1. The dragon. C1. The hill. B1. A1. A2. The hill quarry. There are currently 8 workers. There are G2. The oak. There are currently 8 workers. There are not G3. The road to the east. F3. The flooded. E3. The village store. E4. The burnt wheat fields. There are currently 18 workers here. The maximum there are F3, the flooded fields. E3, the village store. D3, the burnt 10 wood and 5 stone are delivered. There are now 10 workers here. C3, the king's country residence. You have 97 villagers, and you currently have 80 villagers doing some work. C1, D1, the dragon. There are currently 0. C, there are currently 0 workers here. The maximum there are now 10. D1, there are currently 10 workers here. There are now 10 workers here. E2, the church. There are currently 10. There are F2, the guardhouse. There are currently 0 workers here. Sorry, there are only 7 workers. There are currently 0 workers here. Sorry, there are now 7 workers here. Review on 10 prayer book today. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills, but no outlaws were. Unfortunately, armed villagers pursued wolves into the forest, and their short bows shortened the lives of 2 wolves. Vil prayer seemed to be answered when 22 bags of wheat were. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for baking bread. Workers did some laundry and checked the grant. The king is sincerely. Builders have now completed 92. Builders have now completed 16. Workers have now completed 100. Village folk celebrate the restoration of the wheat fields. Dignity the cat prevented rats from eating any food or grain. Villagers ate up 95. Tomorrow's weather. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf. It is day. There are currently 7 workers. There are F3, the bar F4, the dot E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum is low. There are now 20. There are currently 0 work. Sorry, there are only 5 work. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum. There are now 5. Today's weather forecast is floods, which will be a There are currently 5 work. There are now D3, the burnt down marketplace. There are currently 10. There are B4, the weather station. 4 E4, the wheat fields. 20 workers. There are currently 20 workers. There are now 10 F4, the dike. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 0. There are still 0 workers. You have 285. D5, the Brit. E5, the river. F5, the river. C5, the river merchant. Merchants return ring of staff of partial 1 book of drag 1 wolf 2 orphan 20 bags of 20 bag. You hand over. You do not have enough gold for these bags of grain. It is day D4, the mill. E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 10 work. There are now 5 workers here. You have 96 villagers, and you currently have 91. There are currently 5 work. There are E4. There are now 10. You have 96 villagers, and you currently have 96. Are you sure you wish to review on 20 back? You are dismayed to hear another 15. Some folk put herbs in their cookie. Some folk today's weather was floods, which workers used to improve. Floods were held by the dike with the new millstone. Workers used 33 bags of grain and made 198. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills, but no outlaw. Items. Base library. List. Rocky's dragon. Unfortunately, 1 villager when armed villagers pursued wolf. And 4 villagers opened their new prayer books with the prayer seemed to be answered when 8 gold was found up. Oracle Al tells you some workers did some laundry. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for selling goods on the market. Word the king is. Builders have now completed 100%. Village folk builders have now completed 34. Dignity the cat prevented rats from eating any food or grain. Villagers ate up 108 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine. With lookouts are sure there will be. You have 94. You currently have 84. It is day for E3 to E F E2 F. There are currently 0 work. There are E2 the church. There are currently D2. There are currently 0 work. There are D3 the burnt down marketplace. There are currently 10 work. There are still 10 workers. E3 the village store. There are still 0 workers here. F3 the barley fields. There are still 0 workers here. F4 the dike. There are currently 10. There are E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 10 work. There are now 20 workers here. D4 there are currently 5 work. There are now 10 workers here. C4 the farmhouse. There are currently 0 work. There are still 0 workers. C3 the king's country residence. There are still 4 workers. There are currently 4 workers here. There are now 6 workers. C2 the village cottage. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum. Sorry, there are only 3 workers. There are now 3 workers. B2 the watchtower. There are currently 4 workers. Are you sure you wish to return? Today's weather was sunshine. Workers used improved seeds to grow 48 bags with the new millstone. Workers used 72. Armed villagers pursued outlaw. Unfortunately, 1 villager went with armed villagers pursued. Some villagers really enjoyed their. As a complete coincidence, 2 youths' prayer seemed to be answered when a wolf was killed by a traveler who asks to stay in the village. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for baking bread. Workers washed dishes and tested the wine and cheese were okay for the king. The king is sincerely. Builders have now completed 50%. Dignity the cat prevented rats from eating any food or grain. Villagers ate up 116. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which will be bad for crops. Lookouts are sure there will be no. You have 96 You currently have 93. You have 7 bags of grain. You have 453 of. You have 14 gold. You have 2 goods to sell. You have 4 rubies. You have 23 stone blocks. You have 16 oak wood beams. Rumors suggest there are around 59 outlaws in the hills. Rumors suggest there are thought to be 26 wolves in the forest. Return the dragon with it is day 57. C3, C4, the D4, the mill and bakery, E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 20. There are currently 10 workers. D3, the burned down marketplace. C3, the King's Country residence. There are currently 6. There are still 6 work. C2, the village cot. There are currently 3 workers here. Sorry, there are only 6 workers. There are currently 3 work. There are now 6 workers here. Are you should return to everyone's horror? The dragon set fire to the church. Sadly, 3 villagers were burned alive. No work can be done in the church until today's weather was drought, which was bad for crops. Workers used improved seeds to grow 32 back with the new millstone. Workers used 39 bags of grain and made 222 loaves. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills. Armed villagers pursued villages weaved 4 textiles. Some villagers really enjoyed their news. As a complete coincidence, 2 youths can now. Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for hunting wolves. Workers washed dishes and checked the brandy was up to scratch for the king. The king is sincerely grateful. Builders have now completed 68%. Dignity, the cat prevented rats from eating. Villagers ate up 104. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought, which lookouts are sure there will be. Lookouts are sure there will be no. You have 95 you currently at D2, E2, the burned out church. 10 wood and 5 stone are delivered. Sorry, there are only 9 workers of. There are currently 0. There are now 9 workers. E1, the forest. There are currently 9 workers. There are D1. There are currently 7 workers. There are B2, the watchtower. C2, the village cot. D2, the Green Dragon Tavern. D3, the C3, the D3, the burned down market. There are currently 10 workers. There are now 6 work. D2, the D1, the drag. There are currently 0. There are C. There are currently 7. There are now D, E, F. There are currently 9. There are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to return? You are dismayed to hear another 15 wolves have arrived in the forest. Today's weather was drought, which workers used improved seeds with the new millstone. Workers used 32 back. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their longswords made short work of 3 outlaws. Unarmed villagers pursued wolves into the forest and their short bows shortened the lives of 6 wolves. Unfortunately, 1 villager went. Villages weaved 3 textiles with their. A couple of villagers got together in their new double bed to make a baby. As an oracle, Al tells you many things, but none of them useful. Workers washed dishes and tested the what. The king is sincerely grateful. Builders have now completed 78%. Builders have now completed 14%. Dignity, the cat prevented. Villagers ate up 1 hunt. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain, which lookouts are almost certain. 15 out. Lookouts are sure there will be no wolf. To this day, E1, the 41, the dragon. C1, there are currently 9 work. There are now 10 work. C2, the village. C3, the king. C4, D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 10 workers. There are now E4. There are currently 20 work. There are now E, F3, the barley fields. F2, G, F. There are currently. There are now.
On your toes.
There are now F1, the forest. There are currently 9 workers. There are now 10 workers. Return. Today's weather was rain, with workers used improved seeds to grow 36. Guards fought off 14 outlaw. 1 dead outlaw at most of his head. 1 retreating. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their longswords. 1 guards fought off 14 outlaws and 4 outlaws were killed. 1 armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their longswords made short work of 2 outlaw arms. Unfortunately, 1 villages weaved 3 text. A couple of villagers. As a complete coincidence, Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for finding things in the woods. Workers wash dishes and the king is sincerely. Builders have now completed 88. Builders have now completed 29. Dignity, the cat prevented rats from eating it. Villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine. Lookouts are sure there will be no. Lookouts are sure there will be. You have 94. You currently have 93. You have 36. You have 446 available food. You have 36 bags. You have 14 gold. You have 12 goods to set to this day. F1, the F2. There are currently 4. There are now F, E, D3, the burned down marketplace. There are currently 6 workers here. There are still E3, the village store. E4, the wheat fields. D4, the mill. There are currently 0 workers here. There are now 10. E, F4, the dike. Today's weather forecast is sunshine. E4, there are currently 15 work. There are now F. There are now 15 workers here. There are now 20 workers. F5, the river. G5, the E5, the river. C5, the river. D5, the river. B4, the weather station. C4, the farmhouse. D4, the E, F4, the dike. G4, the woods. G3, the road. G4, there are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 0 workers available. There are F4, the dike. E4, the E5, the river. D5, D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 10. There are E, F, G3, the road. G4, there are now 5 workers. Return. Today's weather was sunshine. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 89 back with the new millstone. Workers used 36 back. Workers gathered 10 nuts and berries with the new millstone. Workers used 36. Workers gathered 10 nuts and berries. What luck as villagers leave the wood. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their armed unfortunate villages leave a couple of villages. As a complete Oracle Al workers tended to Oracle Al tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for making babies. Workers tended to garden and tested the wine and cheap. The king is sincere. Builders have now completed 98. Builders have now completed 45. Dignity, the cat prevented villagers ate up 98. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some clouds. Lookouts are almost certain. 21 out. Lookouts are sure there will be no. You have 94 village. You currently have 93. You have 89 bags. You have 460 available. You have 14 gold. You have 16 goods. You have 1 gems. You have 4 rubies. You have 18 stone. You have 6 oak wood. To this day F4 the dike. F5 the river. E5 the river. E4 the wheat fields. G4 there are currently 5. There are F E4 the wheat fields. D4 the C4 the farm. D there are currently 5. There are now C3 the King's Country residence. There are currently 6 workers. There are now D3 the burnt. D2 the D. There are currently 6 workers. There are now 2 workers. E3 the village store. F3 the barley fields. There are currently 20 workers here. The maximum. There are now E4. There are currently 0 workers. There are now G3 the road to the east. F4 the dike. E4 there are currently 20. There are now F1 the 4. There are currently 8 workers. There are D1 there are currently 10. There are now 10. C1 the hills. D1 the dragon's lair. D2 the Green Dragon Tavern. E2 the burned out church. There are currently 9 work. There are now 10 workers here. F2 the guard. G2 the oak. There are now 10 workers here. You have 18 stone blocks. A2 the hill. There are now 4 workers. A3 the road to the west. There are currently 0. You need another 6 gold to set B3 the black. C3 the B D3 the burned down mark. C3 the King's Country residence. D3 the village store. F3 the barley. F E4 the wheat field. D4 the mill and bakery. C4 the farmhouse. DE4 the wheat fields. F4 the dike. G4 the woods. F E C4 the B4 the weather station. A4 the woods. C4 the farm. D4 the mill and bakery. E4 the wheat field. E3 the village. F3 the barley fields. D3 the burned down. C3 the King's Country. D3 the burned down marketplace. You have 94 villagers and you currently have 80 villagers doing some work. E3 the village store. F3 the barley fields. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is... There are now 14 workers here. Return to everyone's horror. The dragon set fire to the mill and bakery. Fortunately, no one was burned. No work can be done in the mill and bakery. Today's weather was some clouds. With workers used quick growing seed. Those new chickens and header ate 9 bags of grain and provided 56 eggs and 72. Outlaws broke through the village defenses and stole 12 food, 16 goods and 14 gold. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills, but no outlaws were. Armed villagers pursued wolves into unfortunate villages leave free text. Some villagers really enjoyed their news as a complete coincidence. Free use. Oracle L tells you tomorrow will be an excellent day for selling goods on the market. Workers at the quarry carved out. Workers in the oak forest cut lumber and made 5 beams. Builders have now completed 100. Village folk celebrate the restoration of the marketplace. Builders have now completed 63. Dignity the cat prevented rats. Villagers ate up 110 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods. With lookouts are sure there will be no lookouts are almost certain 6 wolves will appear. Day 6 G3 G3 throw F2 6. There are currently 0
On
work.
your toes.
There are now 4 workers here. F3 the bar F4 the dike. There are currently 0 work. Sorry, there are only 1 worker. E4 the wheat fields. There are currently 0 workers here. The Mac there are still A5 the oracle's house 10 workers. There are currently 10. There are B C D E F5 F4 the dike F5 the river merchant. You have 0 gold. You have 0 gold coins and you have 3 goods to sell. F3 the barley fields. F2 the guardhouse.
On your toes.
There are currently there are still G2 the oak forest. It is hard to put a figure on how much of the gods respect you have earned, but Brian says it is around 463. Everyone else reckons you have earned the friendship of the gods. It is hard to put a figure on how much of the king's favor you have gained, but Brian says it is around 674. Everyone else reckons the king has praise for you. G2 the oak forest. G3 the road to the east. F3 the barley fields. There are currently 14 workers here. There are F4 the dike. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 workers here. F3 the barley. F2 the guardhouse. E2 the burned out church. There are currently 10 workers here. There are still 10 workers here. E3 the village store. E4 the wheat field. D4 the burned out mill and bakery. 10 wood and 5 stone are delivered and work can start. Sorry, there are only 1 workers. C4 the farmhouse. There are currently 10 workers. There are not D. There are now 10 workers here. E4 there are currently 0 workers. There are FF. There are currently 14 workers here. There are still 14 workers here. Today's weather forecast is floods. You have 96 villagers and you currently have 95 villagers. FF1 G1 the forest. There are currently 9 work. There are now 10 workers. Return. Today's weather was floods. Workers used quick floods were held by the guards fought off 6 wolf. 1 dead wolf had 1 retreat. Armed villagers pursued armed villagers. Unfortunately, 1 villages leave a couple of villages as a complete workers and builders of dignity. The villagers ate tomorrow's lookouts are sure. Lookouts are almost certain 6 outlaws. Lookouts are sure there will be. You have 96. You currently have. You have 1. You have 3. You have 0. You have 7. You have 1. You have 4. You have rumors suggest there are thought to be 18 wolves. Rumors suggest there are around 46 outlaws in the hill. Rumor return that it is F1 the forest. There are currently 9 workers here. There are now E1 the C1. There are currently 10 workers here. There are still 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to return? Today's weather was rain, which was not workers used quick growing seed. Guards fought off 6 out. 1 dead outlaw and most of his head missing. One retreating out. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills, but no outlaws. Armed villagers pursued wolves into the forest, and their short bows shortened the lives of 4 wolves. Villages leave. Some villagers really enjoyed their new double beds and made 2 new babies. As a workers at the quarry carved out 1 large. Workers in the oak forest cut lumber and made 3 beams of. Builders have now completed 33. Builders have now completed 98. Dignity the cat prevented rats. Villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine. Lookouts are sure there will be no. You have 98. You currently have 96 villagers. It is days. Are you sure you wish to end it? Today's weather was sunshine. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 35. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills, and their longswords made short work of 5 outlaws. Unfortunately, armed villagers pursued wolves into the forest, and their short bows shortened the lives of 5 wolves. Unfortunate villages leave 4 textiles with their new loom. Some villagers as a complete coincidence. 2 youth workers at the quarry carved out 1 large. Workers in the oak forest cut lumber and made 4 beams of oak wood. Builders have now completed 49. Builders have now completed 100. Village folk celebrate the restoration of the church. Dignity the cat prevented rats from eating any. Villagers ate up 100. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine. Lookouts are sure there will be. Lookouts are almost certain 13 wolves. You have 98 village. You currently have 84 village. You have 208 bags of. You have 136 of. You have 0 gold coin. You have 14 goods to sell. You have 1 gems. You have 4 rubies. You have 18 stone. You have 14 oak wood beams. Rumors suggest there are around 39 out. Rumors suggest there are thought to be 11 wolves in it is day. D1 the dragon's lair. E1 the forest. There are currently 9 workers here. There are DC. There are currently 9 workers. There are E1 the forest. F G G1 the G2 the oak forest. There are currently 10 workers. There are now F E C A A. There are currently 4 workers. There are now 0 A3 the road to the west. D3 the blacksmith. E3 the king's country residence. D3 C. There are currently 0. There are now 6 workers. D3 the marketplace. E3 D2 the church. F2 the east. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers. E3 the village store. F3 the barley fields. There are currently 14 workers here. The maximum is there are now 0. F4 the dike. E4 the wheat. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum is there are still 0 workers here. Today's weather forecast is sunshine. F3 there are currently 0 workers. There are FE D4 the burned out mill and baker. There are currently 10 workers here. There are C4. There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 4 workers. C5 the river. There are currently 0 where there are stills. A1 the hills. E1 the hills. C1 E1 the F D2 the watchtower. 4 C2 the village cottages. 6 E2 the church. 10 workers. E1 DC1 the C2 D2 the C2 the village cottages. There are currently 6 workers here. There are D E F2 the guardhouse. There are currently 4. There are now 10 workers here. You have 98 villagers and you currently have 94 villagers. F E for D D4 D5 the bridge to the D C4 the farmhouse. There are currently 0. There are now 4 workers here. You have 98 villagers and you currently have 98 villagers. Are you sure you wish to end it? You are dismayed to hear another. Some folk put herbs in their cook. Some put to everyone's horror. The dragon set fire to the marketplace. Fortune. No work can be done in them. Today's weather was sunshine. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 44 bags of new chickens and header ate 4 bags of. Guards fought off 12 wolves and 2 wolves. 1 dead wolf had a big den and 1 retreating wolf was armed. Villagers pursued outlaw. Armed villager prayer seemed to be answered when a small red ruby is. Workers swept the floors. The king is in. Builders have now completed 65. Dignity the cat prevent. Villagers ate up tomorrow's wet. Lookouts up. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine. Lookouts are almost certain 22. Lookouts are almost certain 8 wolves will. You have 98. You currently have 98. It is day C2 the village cottage. C1 the hills. There are currently 10. There are D1 the F1, the G1, the forest, D2, the watchtower, forward, D3, the blacksmith, you have 55 of it. C3, the D3, the burned down marketplace, D4, the burned out mill and baker, there are currently 10 there are still 10 workers here. C4, the farm, there are currently 4 workers here, the maximum of this location, sorry, there are only 4, D4, the wheat field, there are currently 0 workers. There are currently 20, today's weather forecast is sunshine. There are now D3, D4, the burned out mill and baker. C4, the burned out mill, C4, there are currently 4 workers here, there are now 10 workers here. F4, the dike. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 14, there are still 14 workers here. There are G3, G2, the oak forest. F2, there are currently 10 workers here.
Toes.
There are now 20 workers here. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 0 workers here. There are only 4 workers there are now 4 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end? Today's weather was sunshine. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 11 bags of those new chickens and header 10 bags of grain and provided 32 eggs and 32 sheep. Guards fought off 20 outlaw, 1 dead outlaw, and 1 retreating up. Guards fought off 8 wolves and 4 1 dead wolf and 1 armed villagers, unfortunate villagers of prayer seek workers with the king is builders of dignity, villagers 8 up. Tomorrow lookouts are almost certain. 1 wolves with lookouts are almost certain. 7 outlaws lookout. You have 97 you currently have 9, you have 200, you have 2, you have 0, you have 1, you have 5, you have 18, you have 4. Rumors suggest there are around 45 out. Rumors suggest there are thought to be 1 wolves in the forest. Rumors suggest there are around 45 outlaws in the hills. It is day 60. F2, F1, the forest. There are currently 9 workers. There are now 0 workers. C1, the hills. There are currently 10 workers here. The maximum is low. There are still 10 workers here. C2, the village. B2, A2, the hill quarry. You have 0 gold. A3, B3, the black. C3, the king's country residence. D3, the burned down marketplace. 10 wood and 5 stone are delivered. Sorry, there are only 9 workers available. There are currently 0. There are now 9 workers here. E3, the village store. You have 0 gold coins and you have 29 goods to sell. F3, F2, the guardhouse.
On your toes.
There are currently 20 workers. There are now C2, the C3, the king, C3, the blacksmith. There are currently 0 workers here. There are now 7 workers here. C3, the king's country residence. 6 D3, the burned down marketplace. 9 workers. F3, the barley fields. 4 workers. D4, the weather station. 4 workers. C4, the farmhouse. 10 workers. D4, the burned out mill and bakery. E4, the wheat fields. F4, the dike. There are currently 10 workers. There are G4, the G5, the witches. F5, the E5, the river. DC5, the river. D5, the river. Are you sure you wish to end today? Please type wire N. Okay, special event. The last wolf is vanquished in the forest. From this day forth wolves will fear his place, and no wolves will dare return, says Brian the Wise. And for once he is right. The gods smile on you this day, and even the king sends his compliments. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was rain, which was dodgy for crops. Events this day in From this day last the whole village special event. The whole village celebrates and bells ring out. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 8 bags of grain in the barley fields. Those new chickens and header 9 bags of grain and provided 38 eggs and 36. Guards fought off 7 outlaws and 4 outlaws were killed in the attack. 1 dead outlaw and most of his head missing. 1 retreating out. Guards fought off 1 wolf and 1 wolf was killed in the attack. The unlucky wolf had most of its head missing. The wolf was skewered with an arrow. Armed villagers for the wolf. The unlucky wolf had most of its head missing. The wolf was skewered with an arrow. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their longswords made short work of 2 outlaws. Unfortunate workers at the smithy forged 8 new metal. Villagers opened their new prayer books with new vigor. Prayer seemed to be answered when 18 bags of barley. Workers washed dishes and checked them. The king is builders have now completed 15. Builders have now completed 19. But the best news of the day, no more wolves. Dignity the cat prevented rat. Villagers 8 up 7. Your peasants are revolting. 34 village. 11 villagers died in tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster. Lookouts forecast there will be no villagers feel safe from wolves. You have 85 villagers. You currently have 82 villagers. To this day. A1, the hills, 6 workers. There are currently 6. Sorry, there are only 9 workers. A2, the hill quarry. There are currently 0. There are B2, C2, the village. D2, the Green Dragon Tavern. E3, the village store. E4, the wheat field. F4, the dike. E4, there are currently 0. There F3, there are currently 3 workers. There are now E3, D4, the burned out mill and bakery. You have 0 available food and you have 264. The farmhouse. There are currently 9 workers. There are now 10 workers. D4, the weather station. B5, the river. There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 5 workers. B3, the blacksmith. There are currently 6 workers. There are now B5. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers. B2, the watchtower.
Stay.
There are currently 3 workers here. The max. There are now there are C4, the farmhouse. D4, the burned out mill and bakery. There are currently 9 workers. There are now 2 workers here. C4, the farmhouse. B4, the weather station. There are currently 3 workers. There are now 4 workers. B3, B2, the watchtower. C2, the village cottage. There are currently 0 workers. Sorry, there are only 6 workers. D2, the green rat. There are currently 0. E2, the church. There are currently 9 workers. There are F2, the guardhouse. There are currently 12 workers here. The maximum. There are now F3, the barley field. There are currently 0 workers. There are F4, the dike. There are currently 9 workers here. The maximum at this location. There are E4, the wheat. There are currently 0 workers. There are D4, the burned out mill and bakery. C4, the farmhouse. C3, the D3, the burned down marketplace. There are currently 8 workers. There are still 8. There are currently 8. There are E3, the village store. There are F3, the barley fields. G3, the road to the east. G1, the forest. F1, the forest. E1, the forest. E4, the E5, the river. F5, the river. G5, the witch's hut. G2, G2, C2, the village. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to enter? Today's weather was floods broke through the dike and ruined today's crop of 0 bags of wheat and 0 bags of barley. Those new chickens and header 10 bags of workers caught 32 with luck while fishing. 1 lucky villager spots a small red ruby on the riverbed. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their longswords made short work of 2 outlaws. Villages weaved 6 head. A couple of villagers got together in their new double bed to make a baby. As the villagers opened their new prayer books with new vigor. Prayer seemed to be answered when 8 gold was found at the market. Workers washed dishes and sampled some cake. The king is it. Builders have now completed 31. Builders have now completed 100. Village folk celebrate the restoration of the mill and bakery. Dignity the cat prevented villagers 8 up 89 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is some cloud. Lookouts are sure there will be villagers villagers feel safe from wolves. You have 86 You currently have 69. You have 256 bags of grain. You have 23 available food. You have 8 gold coin. You have 43 gold. You have 1 gem. You have 6 ruby. You have 13. You have 4 oak. Rumors suggest there are around 36. Rumors suggest there are thought to be 0 with the state. C3, C4, the D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 workers. C4, there are currently 10 workers. There are DE4, the flooded fields. F4, the dike. There are currently 0 workers here. There are now F3, the flooded fields. G3, the road to the east. You have 86 villagers, and you currently have 79 villagers doing some work. Are you sure you wish to end today? Please type YRN. Okay, return to everyone's horror. The dragon set fire to the village cottages. Sadly, 3 villagers were no work could be done. Today's weather was sunshine. With the new millstone, workers used 78 bags of grain and made 210 loaves. Those new chickens and fed 10 bags. Workers caught 18 fish on the river. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills, and their long swords made short work of 3 outlaws. Villagers opened their new prayer seemed to be answered when 10 gold was found outside the green dragon. Workers tended the garden and tested the wine and cheap. The king is sincerely grateful. Builders have now completed 47. Dignity, the cat prevented rats from villagers. 8 of 95. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain, which will lookouts are sure there will be no outlawed. Villagers feel to this day. F2, the guard. E2, the church. D2, the green. There are C. You need another 6 lumber and 0 stone to start your pick. B2, the watchtower.
Stay awake.
A3, A4, the wood. A3, there are currently 0 workers here. You need another 2 gold to send these workers. It is hard to put a figure on how much of the gods' respect you have earned, but Brian says it is around 663. Everyone else reckons you have earned the friendship of the gods. It is hard to put a figure on how much of the king's favor you have gained, but Brian says it is around 858. Everyone else reckons the king has praise for you. C3, the king's country residence, 5 workers. There are now C3, the burned down marketplace, 10 workers. B4, the weather station, 4 workers. C4, the farmhouse, 10 workers. You have 83 villagers, and you currently have 70 villagers doing some work. D4, the mill and bakery, 10 workers. E4, the wheat fields. Today's weather forecast is rain. E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 0 work. Sorry, there are only 13. There are now 13 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end today? Please E3, C2, the burned out C1, the hills. There are currently 6 workers. There are D4, the mill and bakery. D5, D4, there are currently. There are now C1, B1, there are now 10 workers for today's weather was rain, with workers used improved with the new milk, those new chickens, workers caught 60, armed villagers pursued up prayer seemed to workers tended to got the king is since builders have now completed 60, dignity the cat prevented rats from eat, villagers 8 of 90, tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine, lookouts are sure there will, villagers feel safe from, lookouts are sure there will be no out, tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine, it is date C3, D3, the burnt E3, the village store, F3, the F4, the dike, G4, the woods, F4, the wheat fields, there are currently 9 workers here, there are now F3, there are currently 0 workers, sorry, there are only 9 workers, there are now 9 workers here, are you returned today's weather was workers used quick up with the new millstone, those new chicken workers caught 6, armed villagers pursued outlaws into unfortunate prayers were listened to, workers wash dishes and the king is in builders have now come dignity the cat villagers tomorrow's lookouts are sure there will be no village you have 80 you currently you have 7 you have 8 you have rumors suggest there are thought to be 0 wool rumors suggest there are around 29 outlaws in the hills room return to Dragonville it is day 3 the village store today's weather forecast is floods E4 F4 the G4 the woods F there are currently 0 work sorry there are only 0 work E D C B4 the weather station C4, the farmhouse, 10 workers. D4, the mill and bakery, 10 workers. C4, there are currently 10. There are not. You have 730. C3, C2, the burnt. D2, the watchtower. A2, the hill. There are now 10 workers here. B2, the watchtower. E2, the church, 10 workers. C3, the king's country residence. D3, the burnt down marketplace, 10 workers. D3, the burnt down marketplace. F3, the barley fields, 9 workers. There are currently 9 workers. There are now G3, the road to the east. G2, the oak forest. F5, the F4, the dike. There are currently 0 workers here. There are now 9 workers here. Return to Drat. Today's weather was floods. Floods were held with the new millstone. Workers caught 1 careless fisherman. Armed villagers pursued up. Unfortunately, 1 villagers opened their new prayer seemed workers at the workers watched the king is in builders of dignity. The villagers. Tomorrow's weather forecast is tomorrow's weather forecast is rain. Lookouts are sure there will be villagers. You have 81 villagers. It is day 7. There are currently 9 workers. There are now Z4, the wheat fields. There are currently 0 workers here. There are now 9 workers. Return to everyone's horror. The dragon set fire to the blacksmith. Fortunately, no work could be. Today's weather was rain. With workers used improved with the new millstone. Workers caught 18 1 careless fisherman. Armed villagers. Unfortunately, 1 villagers opened their prayer seemed to workers at the quarry. Workers did some laundry and the king is sincere. Builders of now village folks set dignity. The cat villagers 8 of 9. Tomorrow's weather lookouts are almost certain. 22 outlaws will attack this day. There are currently 9 workers here. There are now 0 F2 the guardhouse. There are currently there are only 19 A2 the hill 4. There are currently 10. There are B2 the watch C2 the burnt out built. You need another 6 lumber and 0 stone to D2 the oak forest. There are currently F2 the guard. There are currently 0 workers. Sorry, there are only 19. There are now 19 workers here. Today's weather forecast is rain. Are you sure you wish to return? Today's weather was rain with the new millstone. Workers caught 28 fish on the river. 1 careless fisherman. Guards fought off 22 at 1 dead outlaw. At most of 1 retreating outlaw was armed villagers pursued outlaws. Unfortunately, 1 villagers opened their new prayer seemed workers in the oak forest cut. Workers swept the floors and the king is sincerely dignity. The cat villagers 8 of 9. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods. With lookouts are sure there will be no villagers feel safe from. You have 79 villagers. You currently have 79. You have 22 back. You have 664 available food. You have 18 gold. You have 68 goods. You have 1 gems. You have 7 rubies. You have 20 stone blocks. You have 7 oak wood meat. Rumors suggest there are around 20 outlaws in the rumors suggest there are thought to be 0 wolves in the forest. Return to this day 75. G2 the oak forest. You have 20 stone blocks and 7 oak wood beams. F2 the guardhouse. There are currently 19 workers. There are now F1 the forest. E1 C1 the hill. There are currently 6 workers. There are C2 the burnt out village caught. You need another 3 lumber and C3 the king's country residence. There are currently 6 workers here. The maximum. There are still D3 the market. There are currently 0 work. There are still 0 workers here. You have 18 gold coins and you have 68 goods to sell. There are currently 0. There are now E3 the village store. F3 the barley fields. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 20. There are still 0 workers here. There are currently 0. There are still 0 workers here. Today's weather forecast. G4 G5 the witches hut. G5 G F4. There are currently 0. Sorry E4 the wheat fields. F. There are only 5 workers. E. D4. The mill and bakery. There are currently 10 work. There are E. F4. There are currently 0. There are now 10 E4. There are currently 0. There are only 5 workers. There are now 5 workers here. You have 600. D4. The farmhouse. There are currently 0 workers. There are B4. The weather stick. B3. The burned out blacksmith. You need another 3 lumber and 0 snow. C3. The king country residence. C2. The burned out village cottages. You need another 3. Are you sure you wish to end return? You are dismayed to hear another 17 outlaws have arrived. Some folks put herbs in their cookie. Some folks, today's weather was floods, which workers used improved. Floods were held by workers caught 20 armed villagers first drawn to the market. Prayer seemed to be at workers in the yoke. Workers tended the king is sincere. Dignity the cat prevents villagers 8 up 90. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine. Lookouts are sure there will be villagers feel safe. You have 80 villagers. It is day 70. C3. The king country. C4. The D4. The mill and bake. E4. The wheat fields. F4. The dike. 10 workers. B5. The river. 10 workers. There are currently 10 workers. There are A4. The woods. A3. The rope. There are currently 0. 20 gold is collected and 10 workers are ready to set off. You have 58 gold. B, C, D3, the market, C, D3, the burnt, D2, the C2, the burnt out, D, C, 10 wood and 5 stone are delivered. Sorry, there are only 1 workers of D2, E2, the church. F2, the guardhouse. There are currently 0 workers. There are still. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 0. There are still 0. G3, the road to the east. G2, the oak forest. There are currently 10 workers. There are currently 10. There are now 0 workers. F2, the guardhouse. E2, the church. There are currently 10. There are D2, the Green Dragon Tavern. D3, the marketplace. C3, the King Country Residence. D3, the burned out blacksmith. You need another 9 lumber and 0 main menu. Play the game. It is day 7. B2, the watchtower. C2, the burned out village. There are currently 0. There are still 0. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. Today's weather forecast is sunshine. C3, the King Country Residence. C4, the farmhouse. You have 594 available food, and you have 34 back. D4, the mill and bake. There are currently 0 workers. Sorry, there are only 1 workers available. E4, there are currently 5. There are still F. There are currently 0 work. There are E4. There are currently 5 work. There are now F. There are currently 0. There are now 6 workers. Return. Today's weather was some workers used. Armed villager. Drawn to the mark. 20 goldest villagers opened. Prayer seemed to be workers tended. The king is in. Builders of now. Dignity. The cat villagers 8 of 9. Dignity. Builders of now completed 17% of the.
Yeah, there's just not much to say here. It's just wasting away the days until the outlaws are killed and you have enough favor from the king and the gods to kill the dragon.
Dignity villagers 8 of 96 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine. Lookouts are sure there will villagers feel safe from wool. Lookouts are sure there will be no outlaw. It is day. You have 490. Are you sure you wish to end and return to everyone's horror? The dragon set fire to the village store. For no work can be done. Dignity the cat was saved and bravely continues to keep down the rat population.
How dare you hurt the cat, or try to hurt the cat. That's it.
Today's weather was sunshine. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 14 back. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their longswords made short work of 5 outlaws. Drawn to the mark, villagers opened their new prayer seemed to be answered when 31 workers washed dishes and checked the king. Builders of now completed 35. Dignity the cat prevented rats from eating. Villagers 8 of 92 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain. With lookouts are almost certain. 23 outlaws will attack tomorrow.
Whoa.
Villagers feel safe from. You have 80 village. You have 7. You have 50. You have 1. Rumors suggest there are around 26 Rumors suggest there are thought to be 0 wolves. It is E3, the barley fields. There are currently 6 workers. There are not E3, the burned out village. You need another 9 lumber and 0. D3, the mark. D2, the Green Dragon Tavern. C2, the burned out. There are currently 10 workers. There are not F2, the guardhouse. There are currently 0 workers. Sorry, there are only 16 workers. There are currently 0 work. There are now 16 workers. Return. Today's weather was rain, which guards fought off 21 dead outlaw and most of 1 retreating out armed villagers for 1 guards fought off 23 outlaws and 2 outlaws were killed. 1 armed villager. Unfortunately, 1 villager drawn to the market. Travelers paid prayer seemed to be. Workers swept the floors and the king is dignity. The cat villagers ate. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods. Lookouts are sure there will be villagers feel safe from wool. It is day. There are currently 6. There are C2, C1, the hills. There are currently 9 workers. There are now C2, the burned out. F, G3, the road. G4, the woods. G4, F4. There are currently 10 workers. There are now 10 workers here. A1, the hills. 10 workers. B1, C1, the hills. B2, the watchtower. 4, E2, the church. 10 workers. C3, the king country residence. 6 workers. D3, the marketplace. 10 workers. It is hard to put a figure on how much of the king's favor you have gained, but Brian says it is around 10-20. Everyone else reckons the king has true admiration for you.
Ooh, good, okay.
D2, the green. C2, the burned out village cottages. There are currently 0 work. There are C3, the king country red. There are currently 6. There are now C2. There are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end? Return. Today's weather was floods. With floods were held by the armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their longswords made short work of 2 outlaws. Drawn to the 10 of your villagers return with a gang of armed thugs from Greedy City. The thugs carry the heads of 8 outlaws. Nobody will argue with those thugs. That's a fair day's work for 20 gold. Villagers opened their new prayer books with new vigor.
Hell yes.
Prayer seemed to be answered when 29 cheeses were found near the farmhouse. Builders have now completed 52. Dignity the cat prevent villagers 8 up. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods. Lookouts are sure there will be villagers feel safe. You have 80 village. You currently have 58. You have 67 back. You have 300. You have 1. You have 5. You have 1. You have 7. You have rumors return to drag. Rumors suggest there are around 10 outlaws. Return to this day 80. D2 the Green Dragon Tavern.
Alright, almost got all of them.
E2 the church. 10 workers. D3 the marketplace. 10 workers. E3 you have 154 gold coins and you have 5 goods to sell. E5 the river. F5 the river. G5 the C5 the river merchant.
Here you are.
Merchandise 10 for 20. Quick growing barley seed 60 gold already. Per total weather resistant wheat 60 gold already. Drought resistant wheat 30 gold. You hand over 30 gold for a supply of drought resistant wheat seeds. Took loom for cottage workers 30 gold. 2 new forge 10 premium new forge for the blacksmith 40 gold. You hand over 40 gold for a new forge for the blacksmith. 10 new millstone 10 rat traps 10 prayer books 10 superior 10 attractive market 20 wooden oak beams 60 10 superior fishing rods 30 gold. You hand over 30 gold for 10 superior looking fishing rods. 10 prayer books 40 gold over 10 attractive market stalls 40 20 wooden oak beams 20 wooden. You do not have enough gold for these. You have 54. C4 the farmhouse. D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum is there are now 10. D4, there are currently sorry, there are only 12 workers. Today's weather forecast is floods. F4, the dike. F3, the barley fields. There are currently 0. There are B4, the weather station. D4, the mill and bakery. 10 workers. F4, the dike. 10 workers. A1, the hills. 10 workers. B1, the C1, the B2, the watchtower. 4 C, D, E, F2, 6. There are currently 0 workers here. There are still D3, the marketplace. 10 workers. You have 300. You have 80 villagers, and you currently have 68 E3, the burnt out E4, the E3, the burnt out village store. You need another 9 lumber and 0 F3, the barley fields. G3, the road to G4, the woods. F4, the dike. E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 0 workers here. There are now 12 workers. Return. You bought drought resistant. You bought a new bought 10 today's weather. You bought 10 superior fishing rods. You bought a new forge for the blacksmith for 4. You bought drought resistant wheat grain for 30 gold. The workers used improved today's. You bought a new forge. You bought drought resistant wheat grain for 30 gold.
Ah, so that combined. Gotcha. Okay. So it combines.
The workers used improved seeds to grow 28 bags of grain, and the floods were held by the dike and worked with the new millstone. Workers used 78 bags of grain and made 210 loaves. Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills, and their longswords made short work of 2 outlaws. Drawn to the market, travelers paid 8 gold for sellers at the market. Brew up some tea, and villagers opened their new prayer books with prayer seemed to be answered when 22 bags. Builders have now completed 70. Dignity the cat prevent villagers 8 up 82. Tomorrow's weather forecast is sunshine. Lookouts are almost certain. 4 outlaws. Villagers feel safe from. You have 79 of this. F G G3 the road G2 the F2 there are sorry there are only 0 workers. There are still 0 D3 the marketplace. 10 D4 E4 the F4 the D4 the wheat fields. There are currently 12 workers. There are E2 the church. F2 the guardhouse. There are now 4 workers.
Good. Throw yourself into my defense.
There are now 6 workers here. D3 the marketplace. 10 workers. C3 the king's country residence. B3 the burnt out blacksmith. A3 the road to the west. You have 62 gold. A5 B5 the river merchant. Merchants return grain of chopped staff of parched 1 orphan babies 20 cheeses 10 20 bags of 20 stone blocks 6 20 wooden oak beams 60 gold. You hand over 60 gold. It is D4 the weather station. C4 the farmhouse. D4 the mill. E4 the F4 G4 the woods. G4 the G3 the F3 E3 D3 E3 the burnt out village store. 10 wooden 5 there are C for C B A3 B 10 wooden 5 stone arcs. There are still 0. You have 5 stone blocks and 1 oak wood beams. B2 the watchtower.
Stay. A.
You have 2 gold coins and you have 0 goods to sell. C2 the C3 the B3 the burnt out blacksmith. C3 the marketplace. There are currently 10 workers. There are currently 0. There are now 10 workers here. You have 79 villagers and you currently have 73 villagers. C3 E3 there are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 6 workers. There are currently 0. There are now 6 workers here. Return you bought 20 wooden oak to no work and to everyone's horror. The dragon set fire to the barley fields. Fortunately, no one was burned. No, today's weather was sunshine. With the new millstone, workers used 39 back guards fought off 5 outlaws. 1 dead outlaw and most of the guards fought off 5 outlaws and 4 outlaws were 1 armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their longswords made short work of 3 outlaws.
Good.
Build prayer seat. Builders have now completed. Builders of dignity. The villagers 8 up. Tomorrow's weather forecast is drought. Lookouts are sure there will be no villagers. You have 7. You have rumors suggest there are around 2 outlaws in the hills.
Good.
It is day E1 the forest. There are currently B1. There are currently 9 workers here. Sorry, there are only 9 workers. You have 79 villagers, and you currently have 79 villagers doing B4 the weather state A4 the B2 the watch. There are currently 4 workers. There are B1. There are currently there are now 10 workers here. You have 79 villagers, and you currently have 76 villagers. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please type YN.
Alright, say goodbye to these outlaws.
Speech mode off. Speech mode D. Speech mode with the new millstone. Today's weather was drought. With the armed villagers. Villagers opened their new armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills, but no outlaws were found.
Or not.
Villagers' prayer seemed to be answered when 24 bags. Builders have now completed 34. Builders of village folk celebrate the restoration of the village cottages. Builders have now completed 18%. Dignity the cat prevented rats from eat. Villagers 8 up 86 food. Tomorrow's weather forecast is rain, which will be lookouts have no idea if villagers feel safe from wolves. You have 79 villagers. You currently have 66. You have 24 bags of grain. You have 389 available food. You have 2 gold coins. It is B2 the rock C2 the D2 the green E2 the F2 the guard G2 G3 the road to F3 E3 the burnt up F3 the burnt barley field. There are currently 0 workers. There are now 10 workers here.
Okay, let's try this again.
You have 79 F2 E2 the church. Are you please press speech mode off. Speech mode talk. The whole village celebrates and bells ring out. The last outlaw is banished from the hills. From this day forth your fame will spread. And no outlaws will dare return, says Brian the Wise. And for once he is right. The gods smile on you this day. And even the king sends his compliments. Press any key to continue. Special event. Village folk come running from the church. The village has gained the love of the gods, they exclaim. Moments later, the king's own cavalry arrive in the village. Dragon village has earned the true admiration of the king, they chant. With banners and lances raised, they gallop north towards the dragon. Village bells ring all day to celebrate their victory over the black dragon. The only dragon left in Dragon Village is the tavern. Tales of valor go with the telling, and in the tavern they grew the longest. Press any key to continue. Events this day in Dragon Village. Today's weather was rain, which was dodgy for crops.
Alright.
With the new millstone, workers used 24 bags of grain and made 79 loaves of bread in the mill and bakery.
So me defeating the outlaws gave me the God favor boost to defeat the dragon.
Armed villagers pursued outlaws into the hills and their longswords made short work of 2 outlaws. Prayer seemed to be answered when a small red ruby is found in the collection box. Builders have now completed 51%. Builders have now completed 27%. Workers have now completed 10%. But the best news of the day, no more outlaws. Dignity the cat prevented rats. Villagers ate up 8, but Grundy Herald stomps around, seemingly ignored in all the excitement. Fix the burnt stuff. The king is about to visit, mutters the herald. But the best news of all, no more of that nasty black dragon. Tomorrow's weather forecast is floods, which will be a possible disaster for villagers. Feel safe from outlaw. Villagers feel safe from wolves. You have 79 village. You currently have 76. You have 0 back. You have 386 available food. You have 2 gold coin. You have 0 goods. You have 1 gems. You have 8 rubies. You have 5 stone. You have 1 oak. Rumors suggest there are thought to be 0 wolves in the forest. It is day 80. E1, the forest. D1, C1, the hills.
Finally, no more drums.
There are currently 10 workers here. There are now 0 C, D, F, G, G2, G3, the road to D. There are currently 0 There are now 10 workers here. G4, the wood. F, D, D, D3, the market. C3, the king's cut. B3, the burned out blacksmith. There are currently 10 workers. There are B2, the watchtower. A2, the hill. B, C2, the ville. There are currently 0 work. Sorry, there are only 3 workers. There are now C, C4, the farmhouse. D, D, D2, the D1, the empty dragon's lair. You have 386 available food, and you have 0 bags of grain. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Floods were held by the dike, and workers have saved today's crop of 0 bags of wheat and 0 bags of barley. It is day 85. D, 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 E, F4, the dike. There are currently 10 workers. There are now E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this location is 20. How many? Sorry, there are only 11 workers. There are now 11 workers here. Today's weather forecast is sunshine. There are currently 11 workers. There are now F3. There are currently 10 workers here. The maximum at this location. There are E4. There are currently 0. There are now 11 workers here. Are you sure you wish to return some folk? Put herbs in their cook some folk. Today's weather was sunshine. Workers used improved seed with the new millstone. Villages weave 2 textiles with a couple of villagers got together this day. Are you sure you wish to end the day? It is day 8. You have 199 available food, and you have 20 bags of grain. D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 10 workers. There are still... You have 82 villagers, and you currently have 59 villagers doing some work. E4, the flooded fields. D, C4, the farmhouse. D, you have 199 available food, and you have 20 bags of grain. E3, the burnt out village store. There are currently 6 workers here. There are now 10. F3, the burnt barley fields. There are currently 10 work. There are now G3, the road to the east. G4, the woods. F4, the dike. E4, the flooded field. D4, the mill. C4, the farmhouse. DE, F4, the dike. Today's weather forecast is floods, which there are currently 0 workers here. The maximum at this... Sorry, there are only 9 workers. There are now 9 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the return to drag to this day? You have 91 villagers, and you currently have 72. E4, the wheat fields. D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 10 workers here. There are F4. Today's weather forecast is floods. There are currently 9 workers here. There are currently 9. There are now 10. E4, the wheat fields. There are currently 0 workers. Sorry, there are only 18. F3, the burnt barley fields. G3, the road to the east. FE3, the burnt out village store. There are currently 10 workers. You have 158 available food, and you have 0 bags of grain. Are you sure you wish to... It is day... F3, the burnt barley field. E3, the burnt out village store. There are currently 10 workers. You have 94 available food, and you have 0 bags of grain. E4, the wheat fields. D4, the mill. There are currently... E4, there are currently 0. There are still... D4, there are currently 10 workers. E4, there are currently... Sorry, there are only 19 workers. There are currently 0. There are now 19 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? It is day early in the morning of day 90. A fancy coach arrives bearing the king himself.
Oh, here we go.
The whole village turns out to marvel and to listen. You have done well, my subjects, the king announces. Your missions are complete and your struggles are over, and thank you for the nice little house. I bring you gold and I bring you food. Let's party. And on the king's orders, the king's own cavalry lay out a feast to remember. Press any key to continue. You have successfully completed the game on day 90, but you can continue just for fun if you like. Please type YRN.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, let's continue. E3, the village store.
Okay, finally.
E4, the wheat fields. You have 93 villagers, and you currently have 62 villagers doing some work.
Oh, I greatly apologize. If you press X...
Are you sure you wish to reset your workforce? Please type YRN. Okay, all done. E4, the wheat fields, 0 workers. There are currently 0. There are now 20 workers here. There are FF3, but there are currently 0. There are FE5, the river. E4, the wheat field. D4, the mill and bakery. There are currently 0 workers here. Sorry, the maximum workers here is... There are now D3, D1, the empty dragon's lair. There are currently 0 work. Sorry, the maximum workers here is 5. There are still 0 workers. There are now 5 workers here.
So if you put some workers here...
You have 311 available food, and you have 17 bags of grain. On return that today's weather was sunshine. Worker with some villagers pond with the new millstone. Workers used quick growing seeds to grow 67 back with some dignity. The cat. Some villagers pondered recent events at the abandoned dragon's lair and found the green gem. It is day 91. Work with some villagers pondered recent events at the abandoned dragon's lair and found the green gem. It is day 92. Work with some villagers wasted time pondering the meaning of life at the abandoned dragon's lair.
Yeah, you can get gems.
Dick village. You have 0 bags of. You have 4. You have 200. You have 13. You have 3. You have 8 rubies. You have 3 gems. It is day. Are you sure you work with some Dick villagers 8 of 90? Tomorrow's weather village. Dick some villagers wasted time pondering the meaning of life at the abandoned dragon's lair. It is day. D2, D3, the marketplace. E3, the village. F3, the barley fields. G3, G4, the woods. G4, the woods. G5, the river merch. F4, the dike. There are currently 0 work. There are now 10 workers here. Today's weather forecast is not at all E4, the wheat field. D, C4, the B4, the weather station. Are you sure you wish to work? Flood with the new. Some villagers pondered with the new millstone. Floods were held by with some village dignity. The cat villagers 8 of 9. It is day 95. It is day 96. Time to instruct. It is day 97. It is day 98. It is day 99. It is day 100. It is day 101. Time to instruct.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip
Worker with some dick village of our villagers. You have 1 oakwood beams. Rumors suggest you have 6 gems. You have 13 goods to sell. You have 11 rubies. It is day.
Get some gems.
C4, the farmhouse. B4, A4, A5, the oracle's house. A4, the woods. There are currently 0. There are now. You have 400. Are you sure you wish to? It is day 103. It is day 104. It is day 105. It is day 106. Please press YRN for yes or no. Oh, work with work some dig with the fill. You currently have 55 village. You have 500. You have 202 gold coin. You have 13 goods to sell. You have 8 gems. You have 12 rubies. You have 8 gems. You have 560 available food, and you have 0 bags of grain. You have 93 villagers, and you currently have 55 villagers doing some work. Are you sure you wish work with work some dig with the fill? You have 0 bags. You have 400. You have 200. You have 13 goods. You have 8 gems. You have 12 rubies. It is day 1. You have 497 work with work some dig with the fill. You have 500. You have 2. You have 13. You have 10 gems. You have 12 rubies. It is day A5. You are A5. D5 the river. C5 the river. DE5 the river. F5 the river.
And of course, this merchant's gone.
G4 the woods. There are currently 10 workers. There are now F E1 the D1 the empty dragon. There are currently 5 work. There are now 0 work. D2 the Green Dragon Tavern. You have 93 E F G3 the road to the east. G4 G. There are currently 0. There are now 10 G2. There are currently there are E C A. There are now 10 workers here. Are you sure you wish to end the day? Please A3 the road. B3 the blacksmith. There are currently 0. There are C3. There are currently 0. Sorry, the maximum workers here is 6. D3 there are currently 0 work. There are D2 the Green Dragon Tavern. There are C2 the village cop. There are currently 0. Sorry, there are only 3 workers of. There are now 3 workers here. Are you sure you wish to enter the return to the state? C5 the river. B5 the river. D5 the bridge to the south. E5 the river. F5 the river merchant.
Ah, perfect. Okay. Now,
Merchandise for sale. 10 longswords, 50 gold already purchased. Return the ring of charm. Staff of calming, 10 green gems. Special event. You hand over 10 green gems to the river merchant. He pockets 3 gems and gives the other 7 to his master craftsman. Wanda nervously hands over her enchanted staff. Everybody watches as the craftsman cuts a ring of 7 sockets in the staff. The 7 gems are seated neatly into the 7 sockets. You feel a wave of relief as the work is completed. You have just upgraded Wanda's staff to the fabled Staff of Calming. Press any key to continue. Merchandise for sale. Staff of Calming, 10 green gems already purchased. Ring of Charm, 10 red rubies. Special event. You hand over 10 small red rubies to the river merchant. He pockets 3 rubies and gives the other 7 to his master craftsman. Wanda nervously hands over her magic ring to the craftsman. Everybody watches as the craftsman cuts 7 small sockets into Wanda's ring. You feel a wave of relief as the work is completed. You have just upgraded Wanda's ring to the fabled Ring of Charm. Press any key to continue. Merchandise for sale. Return to Dragon Village and continue your day.
yes, and if you have, I forget what color the dragon is, you will need the upgraded ring and staff, I believe. I have not gotten these, I haven't gotten the dragon yet. I've only gotten black for some reason, but
It is day 100.
either way. And
Are you sure you wish to reset your work? F4 the dike. F5 the river merchant. 0 workers.
oh,
Workers can view the goods for sale in the river merchant.
lol.
F4 the dike. You have 631 available food, and you have 0 bags of grain. You have 94 villagers, and you currently have 10 villagers doing some work. Are you sure you wish to reset your... You have 94 villagers, and you currently have 10 villagers doing some...
Oh, right. Here's what happens if you, lose.
Are you events this day? It is day 1. It is day 1. It is day 1. Okay, events this day in Dragon Village. Today. Some folks had mushroom soup, others had mushrooms, and it is day 116. Time to You have 0 available food, and you have 0 bags of grain. You have 98 villagers, and you currently have 0 villagers doing some work. You have 0 available food, and you have 0 bags of grain. Main menu, play the game. It is day 106. Are you sure you wish to end the day? It is day... You have 67 villagers, and you currently have it is day 118. F5, the river. You have 45. Are you sure you wish today's weather for... You have failed. You failed your village folk and you failed your king. Your surviving few peasants have deserted. You spent an empty day looking at empty buildings. Late in the day, the king's cavalry arrive. And on the king's orders, the soldiers carry out your execution. Press any key to end your misery. Main menu, play the game. Save your game and exit the program. Read the history of Dragon Village. Change the background color, currently black.
So yeah, that is when you lose, and
Read the history of
here's
Dragon
the
Village.
history.
The history of Dragon Village. The land to the north of the Rocky River had been a dry and infertile place for many a year. Dry, some said, others said scorched or even burnt. Yet the forest had recently grown again and the blackened hills turned a pleasant olive color. The river Rocky, once a dry riverbed, flowed again and swam with fish. Old Brian the Wise could still remember the day the first settlers crossed the Rocky River. Although he was not so old back then and he was called many things, none of them wise. The settlers nestled in a clearing between the river, the woods, the hills and the forest. Crops were planted and a few cottages and a farm were built. Next came the tavern, a popular place to this day. The tavern needed a name, as did the village. Brian the Wise suggested the Green Dragon Tavern in mockery of the old wives' tales of dragons. Perhaps wisdom has to be learned sometimes. The name stuck, however, and the village became known as Dragon Village after the popular tavern. Villagers made baskets and soon a market was set up for passing trade. As the village grew, a blacksmith and a church were added. Soon a general store was built to keep the grain and other goods. Even the rats seemed well fed. Messengers were sent to the king, but as there was no hunting to be had, no reply came. Perhaps Dragon Village was too quiet for its own good. Brian grew with the years, and when he took charge of the tavern, he grew in size. In those days he was called Brian the Barman or Brian the Brewer. Or sometimes even Brian the Brainless when he forgot to charge the customers. Brian insisted it was wise to let customers have a few free drinks. The name stuck as customers tried to encourage Brian's wisdom. The river swelled and the bridge was needed instead of a ford. Fishing became a little bit tricky and the dike was needed to protect the fields. Suddenly the weather seemed very important in Dragon Village. But dark clouds were not the only dark clouds on the horizon. Rumors of outlaws and rumors of wolves grew with the telling. And worse, much worse, smoke was seen to the north. A lot of smoke, which means a lot of fire, according to Brian, who by now was a lot older and wiser. Well, certainly older. A watchtower was built in the guardhouse, but village folk were too busy to keep a constant guard. Just one plot was left in the village and folk were asked what should be built. Some suggested a jail for any outlaws, some suggested a hospital for any injured defenders. Brian the Wise suggested an extension to the church graveyard. No one asked again, and the plot remained empty. Eyes looked to the north as the smoke drifted to the south. Dragon Village needs a leader, which is where you come in. Return to the main menu. Main menu, read the hit. Change, toggle the music, toggle the toggle speed, listen to some quick verbal instructions. View the instructions. Listen to some quick use the up, down, left and right arrow keys to move the focus. Use the escape key to get to the main menu. Use the enter key to activate choices on a given location. Use function key F1 for detailed help. View the instructions. Program instructions. Instructions for Rocky's Dragon Village. Version 1.4 release date 28 October 2018. 1. Intro. You are the leader of a small settlement called Dragon Village. The game genre is a mix between strategy, RPG, and adventure. There is a storyline, but it's up to you to take charge. You have to manage your village resources, solve puzzles, and complete quests. Should you employ weathermen or just plant crops? Should you employ lookouts or just guard the village? Should you send travelers to Hungry Village or visit the king? At the end of each game day, the results of your actions are revealed. Depending on your choices, storyline inserts occur as special events. Your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to defeat the outlaws, clear the forest of wolves, build a manor for the king, and somehow quell that pesky dragon. 2. Active hotkeys on the map.
Now, I think it would actually be cool if you could decide what to build, but you cannot. And I apologize, I should have viewed the history first, but
Main menu. Abandon current game and restart from day 1.
oh well.
Play the game. Save your game and exit the program. Play the game. Save your game and exit the program. Do you really want to leave? Press Y to exit or enter resume the program. Thank you for visiting Rocky's Dragon Village. If you have enjoyed this game, please consider making a donation. For more of my games and software or to donate, please visit rockywaters.co.uk. Press any key to exit. Dragon Village. Items view list. A long time ago. Grouping expanded.
that
Base library.
is
Zip 10 of
Dragon Village.
119.
This recording has probably gone on for way too long, but that's Dragon Village for you. But either way, I hope you have enjoyed, and take care all. Please give me your feedback. Yeah, have a great day.
Ops 20. Off volley prop. Mute volley proper. Source visibility. Lock check visibility. Control settings button. Exit button. Settings. Config. Start word. Stop recording. Checkbox checked. Stop recording. Dialog. No. Yes button. Enter.